beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh! Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1445. Doing it live, 1445. We got Mr. Jeff Holiday back again. How's it going, Jeff?
What's up? What's up? How's everybody feeling? Today's a hell of a day. It's a hell of a day.
What it do? What it do? I went to a coffee shop. I went to a coffee shop today and ordered a nitro cold brew, and something weird happened to their cold brew tap where they couldn't turn it off in time, so they poured me two, and I got two for the price of one. So that's
not bad.
Those are good omens right there.
Those are good omens. Yeah. Let's see. What did I get going on today? I got my dirt bike running again, sort of, and then I flooded it. So, yeah, I'm getting closer to turning a $400 dirt bike into, like, an actual functioning toy. I'm really stoked about it. It's cool as fuck.
We have the world-famous King Beard X in the chat. He's too big for this.
Hey!
He's too big for us. But he decides to throw the peasants a bone every now and then.
He's too famous for us now. It's too famous.
Quick reminder, everyone, please like the stream. I have a few announcements to make really quick here. Immediately following tonight's episode, long overdue is the return of the post show, the DP post show. It's available for all of our patrons, $10 and up. You can sign up using the link below. I have a direct link to the post. You should sign up because we're going to review a video that has to do... I don't want to talk about it too much. We're going to review a video that's age restricted on YouTube, so we're going private to review it. It's King Cobra JFS addressing the untimely death of a former friend of his that was his counterpart in the titty sucking incident, if you know what that is.
Indeed. An esteemed member of the National Socialist Party of Casper, Wyoming.
Is that what he? Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
He was kind of a neo-Nazi. That's why people called him Nazi Aaron.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that during the post show. You should sign up. Patreon.com/DP. It's already pinned at the top of our feed there. So if you're already a $10+ member on there, it's right there. You'll be able to access it, and we're going live immediately after this episode. Other than that, please send us a couple bucks also to help us get to our weekly goal. It's pinned at the top of the chat, the Streamlabs link.
That's right. Do we just for some foreshadowing, because I'm not sure, there's a lot of stuff that happened like in politics just today. Are we covering any Trump news?
A little bit, yeah. I have I have a whole lot. Like I have him reacting to the fires. I have the president of Mexico clowning on him about the whole Gulf of America thing.
That's cool. Yeah, there was some really interesting updates on like his legal issues too, which is so goddamn funny. The whole thing is just absolutely hilarious. So yeah, I don't know. We'll get to that when we start talking politics. So
all right. Yeah, and we'll go into that probably first. Well, the news first, and then we'll get into the political part of it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here. I'm really excited to be here. I'm feeling really damn good today.
I'm excited to have you here.
Yeah, I miss the DP fam. I missed being around, and yeah, it's cool. I'm feeling it.
I agree. It's all good vibes today. All good vibes. And all right. So I was doing something really quick here. I posted a very special discount for those of you who are signing up for the first time. If you go to Patreon, we have a promo code that you'll see right when you click on the link in the description. You can get 15% off your first month if you use the link. Or you'll see the link when you first click on it. So yeah, sign up. We're trying to get some more people in the Patreon. Yeah, like this right here. You can see it right here. You see that up at the top of the screen where it says 15% off your first month? There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. 15% off your first month. Should do it.
It's cheaper than that OnlyFans you've been thinking about subbing to.
Yeah,
so come on.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Simping ain't easy.
That's true. Simping ain't easy.
Ain't easy.
It's not. It's emotionally exhausting and usually not very rewarding. But
not very, no. It's rewarding to the person being simped on.
I will admit I am a simp for a very small amount, but definitely there are some people that I am a bit of a simp for. Yep.
It happens. All right, here we go. DP Action News.
He called me, sir, and got me so fuming angry.
People are discriminating against wolves. Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
All right, here we are. We better well learn to love it, Jeff.
I do love it. I love it. I love it when I see it. I love it when it covers me from forehead to chin. I love it when it's in my mouth.
Okay. All right. Well, first we're just going to go over the phenomenon of the LA wildfires. Because, normally when you hear about wildfires, they hit like outside of the city, not in the city.
True.
Yeah. So let's see this here.
The defense secretary tonight has troops on standby despite little requests from California officials. Historic fires continue to grow with little containment.
Thousands of structures have burned with another 60,000 in danger. The public works director for Los Angeles County says sewer, water, and power infrastructure is significantly damaged. Ashley Sharp shares the story of a couple attempting to save their home for a second time in 2 months.
As far as the
whole neighborhoods are gone, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
I can see.
Yeah, my one of my best friends' ex-girlfriend, her house is now completely gone, like just absolutely devastated, and we're all very, very happy about that one in specific, but the rest of it is a tragedy.
I wonder if the house I stayed at one time when I got an Airbnb years ago when TJ was going on Joe Rogan, we all went down to LA and had a meetup there, and we stayed in West Hollywood at this Airbnb house. And the crazy thing about the house was there was a 1980s Hollywood murder that occurred in that house.
Cool.
We rented out the Airbnb, and I looked up the address, and it was in the movie Poltergeist, the teenage girl in that movie, she was murdered by her boyfriend in that house.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I didn't even know she got murdered.
Yeah. She was murdered in like the late 80s, I think.
Every home is destroyed in Pacific Palisades, where a wildfire still rages with zero containment.
Yeah, the Palisades. Isn't that like a ritzy kind of neighborhood? That's like an upscale neighborhood. Yeah.
Yes. The Pacific Palisades is a very nice area. Very, very nice.
Was like
whoa, bro, take the 101 to the 203.
vortex of embers. There was no oxygen. I couldn't breathe. I barely even made it to my car. And some people are saying I'm lucky to be alive.
Alec Gellis tried to defend his girlfriend's Malibu cottage after saving it during December's Franklin fire. This time, he was unsuccessful.
It's just not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yes, that is unsuccessful.
Holy shit.
Real.
Wow.
I mean, a month, less than a month, my lungs weren't even.
Dude, he might as well be like holding a surfboard. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, this is he's very much like he's a stereotype.
he's a
for sure.
caricature of a Californian.
Even better from the last time.
The Eaton fire, still also sitting at 0% containment, has destroyed much of the city of Altadena, California. Around you, there's destruction everywhere you look. Satellite images show the before and after of what was a vibrant community.
We are lucky.
Juan Zaranza ignored evacuation orders so he could shower his home with water.
Because I don't want to lose my house. This house is 140 years old.
Others weren't as fortunate.
I just wanted to see if anything's left.
Hell yeah! Thank you, ya mum. And by the way, yeah, we still need to get Hake on here. I need to book that probably like a month in advance so we can get Hake on here. Because when I try to do it like on the spur of the moment, he's like, "Nah, I can't do it." So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked up a fire map of this, but if it's going as bad as I think it's probably going, it's probably stretching all the way to like East Malibu area, because like that's where they were talking to those kids. And, I don't know. I'm really familiar with the LA area because I've been through there so many fucking times, and it's pretty gnarly. There's a giant, what like a lot of people don't understand. There's this giant fucking like mountain that just kind of sticks up and comes in and then just crashes into the middle of LA and then disappears. And that's what kind of cuts LA from Burbank.
Yeah.
And like that's a forest. And
they're in a drought. They're in a drought season right now.
Yeah.
We have
like it's winter everywhere else, but there it's like they're wearing jackets and sweatshirts, but they're in LA. It's probably like 65 degrees right here, and they're dressed like it's freezing.
Whatever we're wearing.
So
Reporting in from LA, my part of the city has clear skies, but you can see the smoke in the distance. I'm near Santa Clarita. I saw the transformer blow near the 5/210 interchange.
Wow. Yeah. When we had the bomb cyclone here, transformers were blowing left and right, but that was because trees were falling on power lines and shit. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map of the fire too, and like it's almost all the way to central Malibu. Like that's, dude, it's so crazy. That's wild.
And we'll get into the politics of this after we see like just the devastation and the citizens reacting to it. But obviously, people are politicizing this, especially Trump and a few actors. Like, did you see the James Woods thing? Because I'm gonna go through that.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
James Woods on Fox News, no doubt.
Let me tell you something. If ever there's an actor that I just cannot wait to hear their take on literally anything ever, it's James Woods. No, John Voight, then James Woods.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
The same thing for the last 2 days.
2 new fires broke out Wednesday
look
night.
at that, man.
The Sunset Fire erupted.
Like that wildfires happen in the Pacific Northwest all the time because it gets really dry here in the summer. But like this kind of shit is usually like up in the mountains or something. You know, like it's not in the city. They're really like I don't know about where you live, but in Bellevue, fireworks are completely illegal. Like you cannot shoot fireworks here. They'll like the cops will come to your house if they catch you.
No, you can use fireworks in like where I live.
They made them illegal here because it's so dry that you'll start a fire in a neighborhood. You know,
in very specific areas of Oregon, during probably like a good 4 months or so, like you're not even allowed to have a campfire. And if you're found with fireworks, they get really mad at you. But in the cities, nah, it's fine. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
In Runyon Canyon Park in the legendary Hollywood Hills. Crews were able to stop its forward movement.
Our house, you can tell it's next, and we're getting out.
And over the hill in Studio City, a fire off Ventura Boulevard destroyed several homes before firefighters knocked it down. But the danger is
I saw on the local news here that they're sending firefighters from, my state to go down there to help.
Sure. Yeah. There's a buddy of mine that I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting sent down there too from here. So, yeah.
Or from over.
We're throwing everything at this that we possibly can, and we're going to move through this and continue to support one another.
While the Santa Ana winds have substantially diminished, another round is expected later today into Friday. Ashley Sharp, CBS News, Altadena, California.
All right. So that kind of covers the event. Now let's get into... We'll watch the James Woods Fox News clip, and it's with Laura Ingraham, who's one of the most insufferable people on earth.
Hey.
Yep. So here we go.
All right, we're going to come back to this press conference in Pasadena as it warrants. But no one has been spared from this inferno, including celebrities like James Woods.
By the way, I saw an announcement, just as an aside, I saw an announcement the other day, Sean Hannity's engaged to, like, one of the hotter blondes at Fox now.
Oh.
Yeah. Somehow it got out that Sean Hannity was, like, dating, I'll find a picture.
Standing in my driveway getting ready to evacuate. We've got a lot of planes going over, dropping water, but...
Yeah, it's her.
Oh, huh.
Yep.
Huh.
Ashley Earhart. Ainsley
Earhart.
Yeah. I mean, she's just another one pumped out of the blonde machine at Fox.
Right.
So when Gretchen Carlson and who's the other one?
This all happened because the winds knocked down power lines. It was going 100 miles an hour. It was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened here with the cyclone. Only the big difference here is that we have these huge Douglas fir evergreen trees, and they're really tall, but their root structure is very shallow in proportion to how tall they are. So, and they weigh like thousands of pounds. So with the momentum of them like falling over, they were just like slicing through houses and power lines like they were nothing. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
James Woods joins me now.
From an undisclosed location.
Oh, James, you posted a video that I watched last night. I think it was right after you posted it, coming right up to your deck. We're watching it now. I'm so sorry for everything you and all of your friends and all the residents of California are going through tonight. Do you know what's happened to your home since?
It's astonishing that what happened during this experience.
I'm fairly certain he has fire insurance and enough money. Like, he probably has other houses to go to. You know?
Yeah, sure he does.
Most people don't have the luxury of a second house they can go to if their other one burns down. So,
was that we found out that none of us is a celebrity. None of us is a poor person or a rich person.
No, you are a celebrity and you are rich. What are you talking about? Oh, he's going to say, like, fire doesn't care. But it's like, again, I guarantee you James Woods has another house somewhere. Like, a lot of big actors have homes in places where they normally film movies and shit. So he probably has a home in New York. He probably has a home in Georgia. Probably because they film a lot in Atlanta now.
I don't know, man. He doesn't really get that much work compared to a lot of other people.
He got a lot, though.
Maybe he's only got a condo to fall back on, you know? Like,
oh, only a condo.
Yeah.
Person, a Democrat or a Republican. We were just neighbors, just really helping each other. That one video was my neighbor who, after we had evacuated, before he evacuated, ran down to my house to try to stop that fire coming over my deck because he saw it from his deck. I mean, amazing. A fellow named Robert Trinkteller. It was as devastating as it was an extraordinary experience of realizing how essential good neighbors, good friends, good relatives. I've had people call me. I did a movie with Walter Goggins, a wonderful actor.
Net worth is estimated at $6 million. That probably took a hit because his house burned down. Because your net worth is also your property. But he probably had insurance, I would think. So.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he had insurance for sure. So what he's saying, like some insurance companies stopped doing rejected fire insurance. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. It depends, I guess. I suppose. Whatever.
Years ago, I talked to him once or twice. I just got a call, a long text from him. Here's my address. The keys are in the car. I'm out of town. Use our house. Here's all the codes. I mean, people offering us their homes and so on. And that's my beautiful home there. My beautiful.
There it is. Damn.
Okay, hang on. I gotta make this very clear because I am going to laugh at James Woods and his house burning down and him having a really bad time because he's a shitty human being. That being said, you know, I'm not gonna cheer on just because like a bunch of people who are really well off had their houses destroyed. You know, some of these people there could be any number of extenuating circumstances. The Pacific Palisades is not where a billionaire lives, for example. If it was a neighborhood full of billionaires, burn, set the fire.
Medina, Washington is a neighborhood full of billionaires. That's where Gates and Bezos both live.
Right. So I have a lot of compassion for people, but I have no compassion for James Woods because fuck James Woods. Fuck you.
So all I know now from him, he stayed overnight, which he shouldn't have done. But he did. Fighting the fire, there was no water pressure, of course. All the fire hydrants were dead, as we now know.
Well,
the
Mr.
fire trucks are there. But
we meet again. The fires reminded me of you. For reasons. Non-homoerotica way. Oh, the hypocrisy of social media when bad things happen in California.
It's true.
It's so very, very true. Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, you know, like we living in Oregon, and to some extent Washington too. Like we have to deal with wildfires every single year, and they're bad.
This last summer was better for me up here. I think you guys had them down there, but we didn't get very many. Like we didn't have the really smoky day where they tell you to keep your windows closed, even though it's like 90 degrees outside, which is terrible.
Right.
But
yeah, no, we had like a couple of them that blew in that were pretty bad. I mean, we had some significant wildfires, but they were far enough from where I was. But I mean, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. There was one that was so bad that me and a bunch of people got together and bought these giant water jugs with like the pumps that you can put on them, and we went around to like where all the homeless people are and like fucking chained the jugs to like poles and shit, so like people had access to water because it was that bad. Like walking outside, you felt like you couldn't fucking breathe. It was terrible. It was nuts, and it was like that for like 2.5 weeks. It was really, really fucked up.
Someone in the chat said Terror Vision ruined him. I don't believe James Woods was in Terror Vision. Don't think that was the case.
He was in Videodrome.
Yeah. Terror Vision is like a really bad horror movie from the 80s. It's really, really bad. But I don't believe James Woods was in it.
they couldn't pump water, as it turned out. He fought the fire himself of his house with a bucket in the pool. And this morning texted me and said, look, I had 3 hours sleep. I just got up. The houses on either side of you have burned down. Every house across the street from you is burned down, but I can see your roof. Now, I have a wooden house with wooden beams.
Ooh, it just so happens wood burns.
You can see my roof. It may be gutted. It may be, we don't know. And all we know is that at midnight, when the trucks were there, all the fire alarms were going off in our house remotely to our phones. Sarah and I were both getting, hallway monitor is on, bedroom monitor is on. It was as if you could, track the fire as it was going through your house. But it could have been the smoke from the houses next door. I don't know. So it's possible.
Fascinating.
I don't think it's very likely, but it's possible our one house is standing, even though all our wonderful neighbors, and every one of them is a friend and been wonderful to us and us, I hope, to them.
James,
it's a little paradise in the hills.
Your comments about neighbors at being critically important, and so oftentimes now in our busy lives, we don't even know our neighbors, or people cocoon themselves and don't. But I think your point at such a
I mean, Fox News teaches us to be afraid of our neighbors, especially if they're not white. So
right, that's true. And also, what in the fuck is she getting at? Like, what the fuck is the point of this? What in the fuck? Fucking whatever.
Time of great.
By the way, I didn't know this, but James Woods was sued by the actress Sean Young, and he had to pay her $227,000.
Why?
James Woods. Oh, you know what? Okay, this is weird. It says James Woods sued actor Sean Young after alleging that she was stalking him. She responded by claiming he was trying to get revenge after she rejected his romantic advances. The suit was settled out of court, and Young was awarded $227,000 to cover her legal fees.
Right. Dude, don't fuck with Sean Young. Like, she's a fucking legend. Like, you piece of... He's such a piece of shit, man. God
Tragedy
damn it.
Is one that we should all take in tonight. Get to know the people around you. Get to know them.
Well, there are people who will probably say, oh, you sound like you're, doing a Hallmark movie, talking about the love of your neighbors. Well, next door to us, the house below us, and I think you have a video, right where that fire is, the house next to us, right to the right of that tree. In fact, that tree's on his property, believe it or not, is a 94-year-old gentleman.
It's weird. I don't believe it. Wow, incredible. I don't believe it. I can't believe that you're telling me this. Jesus Christ, I hate this motherfucker. Sorry.
Sorry. He has a caregiver. He was in the hospital, so thank God he wasn't there during the fire. We thought. We get down the hill after we evacuate. Robert was still up the hill. I get down the hill and I said to Sarah, we've got to call Francis, his son, who lives in, I think he's a professor at Harvard or something, and just make sure his dad isn't in the house. I think he's in the hospital, I'm pretty sure. We called and he said, what's going on? I said, well, there's a fire in the Palisades. He said, oh, no, I've been in a meeting. This is right at the beginning, because we were at the epicenter of the beginning of the fire. And I said, your dad's in the hospital, right? He goes, no, he's in the house with a new caregiver. I don't know who they are. Well, it turns out what happened was I called 911. I finally got through to somebody, the fire department. That's the house right there. That's his house. And we could look down into his window. And I got someone in the fire department. I said, look, this 94-year-old guy with dementia, he doesn't even know that you've got to get to that house. We'll get there. We'll get there. So Robert went down. It turned out, he said, no, there's nobody there. And he said, the front door's open. It turned out later that the fire department had said to the caregiver, who was new and not from this country and probably a little afraid of authority, and I say that kindly, they said, you must evacuate. We will come back for him. Don't worry. And they either forgot or they hadn't gotten there yet.
Oh, my goodness.
So Robert went in the house. He said, there's nobody here. I said, they keep him in a little room that used to be the so-called maid's room. It's around the kitchen. I've been in that.
What is going on? Like, so what? He's telling the story this guy burned to death or what?
Because he used to fall out of his chair and we'd go over.
So did they get him out, James?
They got him out and the house burned down an hour later.
Oh, my. There are probably so many stories like that. We're going to hear thousands of stories of people.
No, James, no. Cut to the chase, James.
Who are elderly, alone, might live alone, trying to save their pets, go back in.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up, James.
His son was out of his mind, got here. He said, we don't even know how to find him because he's at the hospital. He doesn't know his name. He just found him. We found him about an hour ago.
James, I want to ask you about something that when you said last night, we couldn't get any water. There was no water.
No, James.
At the hydrants. Yeah. A lot has been discussed today about why.
It's funny. It's funny, just like him prattling on and on and on. But like he's one of the few like MAGA celebrities, so they're just like trying to just we have a celebrity on Fox News, guys. But even like whatever this bitch's name is, just you can't even
Laura
say it. Like,
Ingraham.
moving on. Let's get to how it's a conspiracy. So.
Yeah. She should have the full panel. She should have Mel Gibson and John Voight on. Maybe a little Kevin Sorbo and Kirk Cameron.
Yeah.
Just get them all on.
Kid Rock. Yeah.
My God. Yep.
That is. We're going to get into a little bit more of that in the next segment. But you guys pay, I think, the highest taxes in the United States. If not, you and New York are kind of tied, or Illinois. But among the highest. No
Who
water
cares?
in the hydrants.
Oh, yeah. Have you heard this? They're saying that the fire hydrants aren't working.
Yeah. That's pretty normal, actually. That's actually very normal.
What, for California or what?
No. When there's a massive fire going on, the city will very specifically direct the water that's the city mains waters specifically to where they're going to be fighting the fires. So like when there's like a huge fire, and like you'll hear about this sometimes if you go back, because I've heard of this so many times in different conspiracies. Like there will be like an apartment fire, and people will like for some reason have checked, and like a block or 2 blocks away, their fire hydrants are totally dry, and it's because it's being fucking used. It's a pressure system. It's a pumping pressure system. It has to be directed to where it needs to go. If some dickhead who's like, I just need to get my house under control and fuck the fire department, and starts trying to like let out all the pressure in the fucking city mains and shit, then they can't do their job. That's why they do it. That's literally why they do it.
I see.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
17.6 million cut from the fire department. Karen Bass, a recent headline. I think you might have tweeted that out from the New York Post.
Yeah. And our new fire chief, has, and by the way, LA Fire Department is fantastic. The people, it's like the people who work for the federal government, so many of us are good people, but the people in charge, she took over and she put on her bio that her priority, my highest priority, is inclusion, diversity, and equity. That is
woke.
Oh God, the fires happen because of woke, and woke took away all the water.
Go woke, get your city burned down.
Right. I'm not. Look, somebody said I was wrong in the chat. Look, man, maybe it's different in this one, but that has literally been conspiracies all over the place, and it has literally been proven like that has been sometimes the case. I guess because LA is going through a drought. Maybe there was another reason for it. Totally possible. But that shit happens.
I wonder where they get their water supply from.
The Pacific Palisades? I don't know.
That area in general, because it's a dry climate, and most of the water is ocean water, so...
Right. The only closest river is the LA River.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
To fill all the reservoirs, I guess, with water, because when I was getting smoke alarms, there was a fire truck parked in front of my house, but they couldn't pump any water because there was none, because they didn't put them in the reservoirs. Okay? And they were busy cutting, look, it's the same we had with all the crime we have in our neighborhood, in Los Angeles, when we had that idiot Gascon. They just didn't care. Everybody was running loose. They were smashing places. You couldn't walk down the street.
A return to competent leadership. This may be a wake-up call. We're not trying to make this political, but when you can't get water and your homes are burning and you have people trapped in their homes who don't have the ability to walk out, that's a problem. That's a real problem that has to be solved. So, James, I'm glad you were, I think you were the first one to actually put that out there last night.
Laura, with all due respect, if it is true that things were handled this way, if it is true that Gavin Newsom is the absolute blithering idiot that I believe he is in the way he has handled fire management in this state again and again and again and again.
They're already they're going to see how much shit they can stick to Newsom in the next 4 years because they're afraid of him running for president.
Wait, this fucking guy?
No, Newsom. Gavin Newsom.
Oh, Newsom. Right. You're right. Newsom.
And he's
I was reading
blaming
up on-
Newsom.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So no, a lot of people are gonna blame Newsom for it for sure. So I'm looking up some of the reasons for the hydrants being dry. So as it turns out, there was no shortage of water. There's actually no shortage of water whatsoever. The problem is that the Pacific Palisades are up in elevation, and there is 3 main water tanks that are used to basically push the pressure system, elevate the water up the lines to those hydrants. After 15 hours of the firefighters using the water, that the levels of that water went down enough that there was not enough distribution of pressure to pump the water up. That was the problem. There's water all over LA. Like, nobody else in LA is like, whoa, we don't have any fucking water. Like, no, there's lots of water. There's plenty of water. It was those tanks that were used. And, 15 hours of fighting fires, like, all over a town where the whole town is on fire, it kind of makes sense. So that sucks. There are definitely different ways to handle the distribution and pumping of water that they should definitely think about, because we're going to have more of these fires because of climate change. But,
I think the jury's still out on that, Jeff. I think plenty of scientists disagree.
Again, this isn't a wake-up call. This is the kind of thing they have tribunals for, where they try people and say, you had an oath of office to perform certain duties. When
he wants a tribunal, a military
you're the fire
tribunal.
chief, this isn't a social justice exercise that you're in charge of. This is you getting water to areas that need water because there are fires in 100-mile-an-hour winds burning houses to the ground. I watched on a Ring camera a guy have to sit and watch his pet burn to death. Those things are.
Oh, well, you didn't have to watch that.
Yeah, listen, we don't need to hear about your masturbation habits or anything, but look, okay. Also, it's so fucking frustrating. If you, so I'm imagining James Woods and of course Laura Ingraham, big capitalist people, right? Big into capitalism. Ask Nestle. Nestle has a lot of water.
They own a lot. Yes.
Should the free market be fixing our fire problems? Nestle is the number one.
Is it Aquafina? Is that what they sell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, no. Is Aquafina Nestle or is Aquafina Coke? I can't remember.
Let me see.
Being owned by. No, they're owned by Pepsi.
Yeah, which water brand does Nestle own? Pure Life. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Pepsi and Nestle can compete to keep your house from burning to the fucking ground. Do that. Just do that.
Of the heart when
free market.
You watch a cherished little pet, or look. My home is a building. It was we worked 3 years putting the home together. We loved our little house, but it means nothing compared to the 5 people who lost their lives.
James,
the wake-up call.
Yeah, I hear you. And again, we're going to learn a lot more about this, but we know a lot already. And we're going to get into some of this next segment. Not all was kumbaya out there today. Specifically, one individual who goes by @PiperK on Twitter, on X, I guess a former faculty member at Mizzou.
No, James.
Karen Piper, she tweeted, and she since deleted the tweet, James Woods' house is burning down. It's karma calling.
Nice.
Retired prof.
Yeah.
University.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's, when I read that, I look for a curb so that I can find some place to scrape her off my shoe. I'm more concerned about my neighbors and their homes that they lost.
I would beat that woman. I would beat her. I would beat that woman. I'd beat her within an inch of her life. You wouldn't believe, Laura, how much I would beat that woman.
I don't.
Do you know where she is? I'd love to beat that woman.
It's crazy how it says 0% contained. Dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's the bitch about fire. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
By the way, please like the stream, everybody. Give the stream a like. Thank you.
Really care what she has to say.
Yeah.
She means nothing to me. She is to me a fleck of spit on the arc of infinity.
Well, that any.
He wrote that. He sat down and thought about that.
Oh yeah. They gave him plenty of advance warning. Like, this is what we're gonna. What do you want to say to this person? Spit. Something about spit and an arc. Yeah, and arcs are cool. I don't know.
I think any of that about anyone at a moment like this, especially someone who suffered.
I've got another great one coming up
have
next.
Suffered everything. Like when you're driving down the PCH now, and a lot of the videos from last night and continuing today, James, I live in California on and off.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop watching this. I was like, wait a second, is
By the
that
way,
where the real in is?
I found
the
a really
real...
old, probably the first Super Soldier talk that Jimmy was ever on. And, and James looks so different. He has changed. Like, his physical appearance has changed a lot.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
He had like a thick neck. It looked like he was in the military. He had like the military haircut and everything. And he looked like bigger. And he's gotten way thinner looking. It's weird.
Great.
Yeah. Nope.
Lynn on the PCH, gone. Restaurants gone.
I'll give an example
Homes
of that,
gone.
Aaron. There's a little restaurant there, and they have a billboard, and in chalk every day, as you go by, they'll have some joke about fish with a saying. It's very funny. Sarah takes pictures of them every day for her Instagram and so on. It's just a charming little kind of surfer shack, from another time. You were showing a little area in the palace.
All right, I think we're gonna skip the rest of this. Oh, here's the next one. This is Adam Carolla. You like Adam Carolla?
Oh boy, do I!
And it's just amazing.
Oh shit! And it's Brian Kilmeade.
How much ineptness we're witnessing and how lack of preparation.
Wait. Or like Brian Kill Me.
Waka waka
is making everything so much worse. I don't have to explain it to Adam Carolla. He is living it. He chose to live out there, born out there, and we're a successful podcast. The Adam Carolla radio show is. He's a comedian who's got a great special out, but we'll talk about that in a moment. First off, Adam, do you still have a house?
I'm not sure. I was evacuated.
He's another conservative celebrity, Adam Carolla.
From Malibu, where I live, on Tuesday night.
Where's Dennis Miller? Get him on too.
Early evening, about 6 o'clock. There was mandatory evacuation. I took off and went to my studio, and which is in another part of town, and it just kept watching the news, kept talking to neighbors, kept talking to friends, and we got some drips and drabs of information. I do know that most of the structures around my condo have burned down, including everything in front of me on PCH all along the water. I mean, we're really talking about houses on the low end that are $12, $14 million, and on the high end, they're $70 million, and they're all gone. All of them. All but me. So everything around me is gone, but I have heard that a few structures, including my condo, may still be intact. Miraculously, you can't go there and confirm it because they won't let you in.
I mean, it's amazing what's going on, and it's amazing how out of all the things you could think could go wrong, I never thought running out of water was something that was going to happen, but it seems to have happened.
Yeah, this is the narrative. It's like we ran out of water because of the incompetent Democratic leadership in Los Angeles. Is what you're going to hear a lot of.
And Rick Caruso, who was running for mayor, self-made multi-billionaire, I think, he said this, cut 23.
I like how they position, this guy's a billionaire as like a negative thing, but it's like, didn't you vote for the billionaire who's being funded by an even bigger billionaire into the presidency?
Different.
Oh,
that's different.
Oh.
Come on.
You have mismanagement of resources, and you don't have the right leadership making the right decisions. They clearly were not prepared for the kind of fire that was going to be coming. But in Los Angeles, we got warnings days ahead of time, catastrophic winds. You have the Santa Monica Mountains that have not had any vegetation removed in decades. So you had an enormous amount of fuel. That combination alone should have warned everybody in the city that we've got to be over-prepared for this. And they weren't. So the reservoirs that feed the hydrants, from what I have been told, ran out very quickly. And the city was not replenishing the reservoirs for these gravity flow hydrants. It's a nightmare. But it all comes down to the right leadership, making the right decisions, and having the right systems in place. It's frankly not that complicated.
Your thoughts, Adam?
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't do any of that in California. We're fixated on having the first, lesbian or the first black or the first gay lesbian black who's running the fire department,
Wokeism,
the city council.
Wokeism.
I mean, we're all
right.
Here's what we
blame it all on wokeism.
It was all the wokeism. I mean, come on. Let's get real here, people.
I think the
Real
wokeism
dumb.
stopped the rain from falling.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would assume so.
Yeah. It's not climate change. It's wokeism.
It's wokeism. It's what way to go, wokey. Way to burn down people's homes. Fucking fuck off.
Yeah.
God damn it.
do.
Yeah.
Like every city who announces their sanctuary city, they announce their sanctuary city, and then what? Nothing. And then
all the illegal Mexicans started the fire.
Oh God.
Is that what he's saying?
God.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody gets dropped off and they go, what do we do with these people? We don't have the resources for this. It's the exact same mindset. We just talk about this stuff like everyone deserves a seat at the table and that no child should go to bed hungry and then we do nothing. It's all just talk. That's how we do it in Los Angeles. And then when something happens, we don't know what to do. And then at some point we'll announce it's unacceptable after it's done. We just go, it's unacceptable. And that's how we roll because we're incompetent, but we basically run on good vibes, and good vibes are great until the S goes down, and then we got
until the S goes down.
Nothing.
So Adam Carolla,
Right.
our guest. Adam, this was you talking about this problem in 2022 on another network.
I want to talk about my white privilege so badly. I could not find a job. I walked to a fire station in North Hollywood. I was 19. I was living in the garage of my family home. My mom was on welfare.
Why is he playing this clip?
And food stamps.
And why is he standing?
And I said, can I get a job as a fireman? And they said, no, because you're not black, Hispanic, or a woman. We'll see you in about 7 years.
So that was you in 2017, my bad, testifying. So you called
Testifying? What was he, like, on the stand or something? What is this?
Or is he just using that as like slang?
Testify!
Like, testify! Yeah. I don't know. That's Jesus Christ.
And that's what this fire chief was bragging about. This fire chief was saying, hey, I'm a lesbian and I hired a lot of diversity. You're going to love my diverse firefighters.
I know. It's like, well, when are you going to be diverse enough? And they're like, never. But in that clip continues, and the part of it that comes in about 25 seconds is, I took the test to be an LA County fireman. I went and took the written test because I signed up for it, and 7 years later they notified me that my test date had come up. And I just went and took it, even though I was a carpenter by then. I went and took it just because I was like, well, I signed up for this test 7 years ago, which, by the way, when you're 19, is a long time.
Yeah. There's a physical test too. There's not just a written test.
Between
that's why you won't find like a severely out of shape firefighter unless they're like an older guy that's not like running into burning buildings or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
You got to be able to carry other grown humans and shit. Like it's not an easy job.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking hella tough. It's hella fucking tough. You know, all the respect to fucking firefighters, you know, but like, yeah, I don't know. Fucking Adam Carolla.
19 and 26, right? That's a lifetime. So I went and took it on a Saturday at Hollywood High. And I was standing in line, and I couldn't believe that I signed up to take a written test to be a firefighter, and 7 years later, they notified me. So I kept asking everyone around me, when did you sign up? I turned to a woman behind me. She was a woman of color who was 5'0" and about 105 pounds. And I looked at her and I said, when did you sign up to take this test? And she said, Wednesday.
So, who would you want coming to save you? Adam Carolla with his strapping 26-year-old boxer carpenter?
He's getting turned on imagining this.
That's why he's standing up. That's why he was sitting on his dick and starting to get stiffy.
Or a 5-foot person who on a whim probably decided I'll sign my name here.
She looked like Paula Abdul's younger sister, and she didn't look like she could rescue a box of Legos out of a burning house, much less, someone full-grown human.
So, having said all that, these people, Adam Sandler,
the woke caused the fire. The woke caused all the damage. The woke caused climate change.
That's right. That's right.
If Adam Carolla had become a firefighter, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
That's right. That's absolutely right. We should have immediately. He should have never been allowed to get into comedy, and instead he should be forced to be a firefighter for the city of LA. I support this. I think he should just go ahead and do it now. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, he'll straighten it out. The woke ruined it. You know what, though? It almost looks like he forgot the camera was there. I know he probably didn't. He probably just felt like standing. But it's like, is he going to start, like, scratching his balls and shit? Because...
God, I hope so.
We're hearing about...
He was the ring...
Dig your fucking fingernails in there, buddy. Just fucking go to town.
In UFC 1, the first UFC, he was the ringside interviewer, which is really weird, like, way before Fox News. Brian Kilmeade. And then for UFC 2, he was actually one of the commentators for it, but he didn't know anything about martial arts. So
that's crazy.
Yep.
I didn't know that. It's really interesting.
Huh. Billy Crystal. We know about Jennifer Aniston lives up there. It's hard to imagine anybody's house surviving. And if yours is, it's lucky you're going to have nothing around you, no infrastructure. Adam, this must be really tough on you, especially because you've grown up there, you've been there forever, you know everybody. And almost all of them are literally in the line of fire. Now the Hollywood Hills are burning.
I have a dear friend, a very good friend who I spoke to yesterday, who I know has a house down on PCH, down on the ocean, and he has another home up the hill. And he loves them, and he spends time there, and he was trying to convince me to get another place up the hill. I talked to him yesterday. I said, how's it going? He said, we lost both houses. Wow. So there's nothing there anymore. And yes, if my home makes it, I don't know what I'm returning to rubble, essentially. I'm just going to watch bulldozers for the next 2 years, just push people's stuff up and down PCH. There's literally nothing in front of me. I used to look out my front window and see multi-million-dollar homes with the ocean beyond.
Whoa, bro.
They're not there anymore.
Yeah, it's
I must see multi-million-dollar homes when I look outside. I must. The woke ruined that.
They that's what the woke does. They ruin everything. Gosh.
someone in the chat, I'm not familiar with them, says LA firefighters are 52% white and only 3.5% female. So
that you might be right. It would be on brand for these guys to just be completely insecure dipshits, and none of what they're saying is even remotely close to true or accurate. I mean, I know that might come across as a shocker to some, but not to me. Not to me.
Yeah. I'm guessing I'm guessing a good share of them are Hispanic because it's LA, you know, like if they're 52% white. Yeah.
Sure.
So
here it's very hard to get a hotel room. Very hard to find a place to go. Are you realizing that now? Are you talking to people that are scrambling?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. I have a show tonight in Vegas, so I just left for Vegas, a day or two early. But I do want to make this point. I'm glad you brought it up, which is these fires are started by homeless people. Oftentimes.
Oh, that's where we're going next. That's where we're going next. First it was the woke. Then it's them.
Now it's the homeless, of course. How could I have been so stupid?
The
so
undesirables, the untouchables.
Yeah, the filthy, the disgusting and unwashed, of course.
And or fallen power lines because we have a decrepit infrastructure.
You don't want to spend money on infrastructure? Come on, dude.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Come on now.
For power.
Yeah,
and that's another problem that we've never addressed. We're supposed to bury the power lines in the ground, but we don't do it. And so we don't have water. We don't have power. Homelessness. All of these people in Malibu, all these people in Santa Monica, all the people in the Palisades, all these people now, Pasadena. I mean, there's people who are literally homeless because their homes were burnt to the ground. None of them are sleeping in a cardboard box under an overpass.
The Los Angeles metro area has about 19 million residents. So that's
okay.
Yeah.
Tonight, because they're homeless, but they're not junkies and they're not mental patients. Those comprise the homeless in Los Angeles. We say, the unhoused community. They're not unhoused. They're drug addicts who have mental problems. I am homeless. Everyone in Malibu is homeless. No one's sleeping on the street because we have a support system. We're responsible. I had Dr. Drew reach out to me. I had Jimmy Kimmel reach out to me. I've had a ton of people reach out to me and go, would you like to stay at my home? Because I'm not a schizophrenic drug addict who's ripped them off, who's sleeping in the street. So this whole thing of homeless, everyone in Malibu is homeless.
Now everyone can hang out with Daisy the Venice Healer. Have you ever heard of Daisy the Venice Healer?
Yeah. Absolutely. Why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, why not?
Nobody slept outdoors one day.
Right.
Does anyone really think about what that means?
And for the record, it's not because you were born into money. It's not because people were born into money. It's whether you're looking to put up with have the infrastructure.
Born into money.
Structure available in your life. And James Woods talked about it last night. Neighbors. Doesn't matter how famous or not famous you are. Neighbors helping out. The guy with Alzheimer's, 96 years old, who doesn't know his house is burning.
For those of you who don't know, Daisy the Venice Healer is like a crazy homeless lady in Venice Beach, but you could tell she had money at one point because she has all this plastic surgery and shit. And I think she was in Playboy back in the day. So I'm pretty sure she was.
That's the rumor. Yeah. I never looked into it deep enough if that was true or not, but
I'm pretty sure.
It would track. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It,
like in the 90s.
A neighbor pulled him out. I don't know if they were famous or not. So people helping people is helping. I think I told you this. In 92, I lived in Malibu, Los Flores Canyon Drive, when the sea lion was there. and all my stuff burned.
What is
but
he
I
doing
was a
now?
single guy just renting a small room in a beautiful place. And I remember the chaos that surrounded it, but I also remembered Gold's Gym said free membership for 3 months. Gap said you can go get 2 pairs of jeans for every 3, and I had no money. And I remember the Oakwood Apartments said you could stay here for a few weeks.
What is this story? I don't give a shit. Did the woke ruin it too? I have no idea.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. This is just dipshit hours. Who knows?
Here's the future president. Buckle up. We got about 10 days. Here he is, the president-elect, talking about the fires.
President Trump, did you make a decision? Did you all make a decision?
Thank you very much. We had a great meeting. There's great unity. Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water.
I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. What does that mean?
Yeah. He was trying to get Gavin Newsom to get water to come. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, what is that? What does that mean?
Mr. President, do you smell toast? Do you currently smell toast?
Do you smell almonds? That was the one that killed me.
That was the almonds. That's right.
They sent it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way.
So
yeah.
They're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way. So they can let that fish go extinct where they are because they have it in other areas.
Fuck that fucking fish.
Lent is coming up. Lent is coming up. We need to fry the fish. Fry the fish.
No, Mr. President. Mr. President.
It's delicious.
Smelt. And for the sake of the smelt, they have
the smelt.
Yeah, for the sake of the smelt. Won't somebody think of the smelt, please?
Got to batter and deep fried the smelt.
no water. They have no water in the fire.
They like to smoke the smelt, but me, I like to broil the smelt. I love it.
Today in Los Angeles was a terrible thing, and we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farm.
Trump definitely lies about his height, by the way. I've been seeing him next. I didn't realize J.D. Vance was so much taller than Trump. Like, Trump is just like, Trump must be like 6 feet even. This whole 6'3" thing is a charade. All right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He also claims to be like 225 pounds or something like that, too. He's 300 pounds.
No. He is what did you say? 220?
Something like that.
He is
6'3", 215. That is ridiculous.
Right. No, but like, listen, it's true. He is 215 pounds. And more.
And he's not 6'3". 6'3", 215 is slim. Like, someone who's 6'3", 215, they're in good shape. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty damn good shape.
Yeah.
For sure.
That don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes.
And it's like, suits hide your build, whether you're fat or like thin or have like muscle. Suits kind of hide the build. One good example of someone who was like ripped, but you didn't know until he took his suit off was Vince McMahon back in the 90s. Like, Vince McMahon didn't look like he was jacked, but then he'd like take his suit jacket off and it'd be like, whoa, that dude's jacked, you know?
Well, that's also fucking steroids.
It was,
but,
no.
Yeah.
I don't care how he got it. I'm just saying, like, the suit hid the fact that he was.
Yeah.
So, Trump, you can't tell how fucking fat Trump is when the suit's on, but when you see him in his golf getup that he wears, oh man.
Yeah. Oh, God, he's got his dumpy Trumpy just hanging out. That's, it's some quality shit right there.
In the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water, and yet they have it.
Well, by the way, I watched a little footage of Jimmy Carter's funeral service today, and they sat all the former presidents and their wives in the same row together, but Michelle Obama wasn't there for whatever reason, but Obama and Trump sat next to each other, and Trump was like, he's like one of those kind of people that get uncomfortably close to you when they talk to you. And they were sitting really close to each other. They're probably almost touching butts, like side butts.
Sure.
And Obama was just like looking forward, and Trump was like leaning in, almost like he wanted to kiss Obama. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Is he like, by the way, you still weren't born in the U.S. Where's your birth certificate? Like, I don't like, I don't know what it was. But they were talking back and forth a lot, and then George Bush came in. And he sat 2 people away from Trump. Like, there was Obama and his wife, and then him. He didn't want to sit anywhere near Trump, like within earshot of Trump.
I don't blame him.
Bush does not like Trump. Like, the old guard of the Republican Party does not like Trump.
No, they don't.
And I can guarantee you George Bush voted for Kamala and Hillary and probably Biden. Which is, I hated George Bush was basically Hitler to me when I was in my 20s. Like, I hated him. I know it was like exaggerated, but I was like young and idealistic, and I was like, he was terrible, but obviously not Hitler. Yeah. But
Hey.
Well, I guess if Iraq and Afghanistan are just like giant concentration camps, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you could make the comparison, but it is like how many people I knew my own age that came back with like brain damage and like shit like that from joining the military and going to those places.
It's fascinating because like at the time when George W. Bush was in office, and obviously like I never liked him either. I was very, very opposed to like the war in Iraq, the war in Afghanistan. And I thought he was a piece of shit. And I really did believe that his language was extremely alarmist and going to take us in a terrible direction. But a lot of me thinking that was based upon me not being very politically savvy and knowledgeable about like where we had come from. Because he was just continuing along a very long line of shit that had already been put in place for,
Reaganomics.
20, 25, 30 years, even before Reagan, but like Reagan is legitimately the worst president we've ever had. Is hands down the worst. Trump's a close second.
Like since the very beginning? I don't know about that.
Yeah.
There were some pretty bad ones like Andrew Jackson and like if you go back.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know if Reagan's the worst ever, but that's subjective.
I would say the biggest reason why Reagan is the worst is because he took that shining city on the hill and he fucking annihilated it. It's a really an emphasis on how much we had achieved and how quickly he fucked it.
He was also probably our first dementia president, where like we had a president in office with dementia, like we do now. But yeah.
The water comes from, you know where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they get millions and millions of barrels of gallons of water that they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing. But for California, it would take care of the whole state. So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him. When he was governor, we worked together very well.
I wonder if he ever donated money to him. It's funny, all the Democrats Trump gave money to, and he gave money to Hillary. He probably voted for Hillary for Senate.
I almost guaranteed. Yeah, of course. Yeah. He doesn't stand for anything. Jesus Christ.
It looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it. But what happened there, I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it. And the insurance companies are going to have a big problem.
The windmills are driving the whales crazy. That's what he said at one of his recent. He hates windmills. He's so against windmills.
Aren't we all?
He's Don Quixote. Donald Trump Quixote.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. God damn.
Because you're talking about big, big dollars.
All of a sudden, Trump's an environmentalist when it comes to wind energy.
Yep. Well, you know, he's got the windmills are hurting the whales.
There are offshore windmills, but I don't know how they're killing whales. I don't know how that works.
I don't know either, Ben.
And they're not really windmills; they're like wind turbines. But I get what he's talking about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
He hates them. All of a sudden, they're like killing birds. But by the way, I've looked up the numbers. There is data on like the common cause of like indigenous birds, and you like one of the highest ones is cats. People that let their cats roam free. You know, they are an invasive species, and cats kill a ton of birds because they're superior hunters. You know, so that's a way higher number than windmills. And then like there's also just like them getting out and like getting run over by cars and that kind of shit. So anyway, let's see.
Yeah, I guess the thing is like, so, you know, some people are saying like, yeah, I guess the electric sonic waves could confuse the whales and this, that, you know. Okay, maybe. But here's the thing. Until somebody comes out with like this really, really big like report and there's a shit ton of like evidence to it and there's a lot of science that's being talked about with this, I'm not really going to pay that much attention to it. But more so than that, Trump doesn't give a fuck about whales. He doesn't give a
They're driving him
fuck
crazy.
About whales. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a fuck about whales. He doesn't give a shit about the environment. He wants to fucking drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill. He wants to acquire Greenland so he can rape its fucking landscape and strip mine it, which he wouldn't even be alive.
Do you know why
by the
else?
time
Do you know why else
get their hands-
he wants it? There's something really interesting. I just watched this CBC news report on it. So from the Canadian Broadcasting Company, because of climate change, a lot of the Arctic Ocean is liquid water during the summertime, and it becomes a quicker way to ship goods from Europe to Asia without having to use the Suez Canal, which is very problematic because of it's an unstable region, and the Suez Canal, a lot of ships get stuck in it. And this is a much wider place. And so there's two routes to get from like London to Asia going through the Arctic Ocean. And one of them you got to go by Russia, which is not a good idea. And the other one, you go up past Greenland and then through a northern part of Canada. And then it takes you around to like Tokyo and other places in Asia.
Okay.
And because of this, Russia has there might be an Arctic war in our lifetime. Russia has quadrupled its military bases on their Arctic border. It's redefining borders now because of it, because it used to just be a zone where there was like ice, and now it's going to be like a place where there's going to be a lot of ships and territory being disputed. It's pretty crazy. I watched a whole thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally possible. The only, much like everybody else on the fucking planet, I didn't know shit really about Greenland. Like, I think I had looked up Greenland in like an encyclopedia when I was in school and was kind of interested. And then I was like, oh, it's just.
I believe it's the Earth's largest island.
It is, yeah. I will say though. So when I was flying back from England last month, I flew over Greenland, and that was the one. Again, and it was during the daytime when I was flying back, and it was the one time I actually even bothered to open the window. And fuck me dead, is it so beautiful. Like an alien world. It's so cool.
Yep.
Like, flying over Greenland is amazing.
Yep. Yeah, I've flown over that. I've flown over Greenland and like some of the places over there. Iceland, sometimes they fly you over that. I've flown over Ireland too. Never been, but flown over it. Let's see what Sleepy Joe has to say.
Real quick too, though, Matt Jarbo in the chat says has a lot of geothermal energy potential. It could be used for the data centers that Musk is going to need. Well, it's not just Musk though either. Like, keep in mind, I mean, we're on track to an ecological fucking crisis because of AI, because of fucking shit awful AI. So it's not just Musk. It's got to be all these other fucking weirdo tech bros that are like, well, actually, I can't handle the regulation, and I'm using up all of the fucking clean water in this South American country that I'm raping and destroying. I'll go to Greenland. Like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense too.
Trump is very interested. I mean, so the energy thing is very valid too, but also for the same reason Trump is so focused on the Panama Canal, he's focused on the Arctic trading route now too also.
Sure.
And that him wanting Greenland is also part of that. So, yeah, well, here's Biden talking about this.
This is a CBS News special report. President Biden is now giving an update. Let's listen in.
These grants cover California's firefighting costs for things like firefighting equipment, firefighters' salaries, and special capabilities like aircraft. Next, yesterday I immediately approved Governor Newsom's request.
I'm not looking forward to Trump, but I'm done with Joe. He's hard to listen to for me. I don't know.
I'll be glad to see him go. I was never a fan. I didn't want him, and I still don't. I'm good.
For what they call, and I know this is all sounds like government talk, but it's called the Major Disaster Declaration. This declaration allows folks, at the request of the governor, the declaration allows folks who have been impacted to get immediate cash assistance to cover.
Is like FEMA gonna go out there or something?
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess.
Things like everything from.
They usually go to disaster areas, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, that's the Federal Emergency Management Agency or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. I mean, that's their job.
Groceries to baby formula to prescriptions, because as you've seen and you reported, a lot of these places are burned to the ground. There's not a single thing left in their homes. And so if they contact disasterassistance.gov, anybody who's lost everything or anything of consequence, disasterassistance.gov or 1-800-2, I beg your pardon.
Oh my God. I can't. I'm just so done with listening to him.
1-800-621-3362. That's disasterassistance.gov, 1-800-621-3362 to get the kind of help they need for everything from the basics that they don't have access to right now. And this morning, due to the magnitude of the disaster, I was talking with the governor, and he requested if I could increase the federal funding that was authorized under this legislation.
He's going to send them a pallet of chocolate chip ice cream.
From
God, I hope so.
75% to 90%. We're increasing it to 100% of all the costs to be covered by the federal government for both the fire management assistance grants,
socialism,
and the elements of what they call the disaster declaration. So today I'm announcing that the federal government will cover 100% of the cost for 180 days. This is going to pay for things like debris and hazard material removal.
Look, he does have a stutter. It's fine, but whatever. Fuck, I don't care.
He has a slur too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Temporary shelters, first responders' salaries, and all necessary measures to protect life and property. And folks, I want to underscore, I told the governor and local officials, spare no expense to do what they need to do and contain these fires and in their communities that have really been devastating.
I've got an idea. I've got a great idea. If we're really serious about this whole like sparing no expense and like really handling these fires and like maybe, I don't know, getting real serious about doing something about it and preventing them, we could like, I don't know, fight climate change. It's just an idea. I know. Listen, I'm probably just fucking out of my mind here, but you know, it's an idea.
Everything we can at the federal.
Please like the stream if you haven't already, and make sure you're subscribed. Thank you.
Level.
Also, if you could please help us get a little closer with the weekly goal, it's right there. It's pinned in the chat. It would be amazing if you would do that. Thank you.
That's also why I call this group of folks around this table of all relevant federal departments and agencies together to discuss what more we can do. And so
he slurs his speech like he's drunk. I don't know if he's medicated or if there's something wrong. Like,
it's definitely medicated for sure.
Some of the folks are on the screen as well. Before we begin things, here's an update on where things stand right now. First, we focused on helping contain these fires. Over the last 24 hours, the United States Forest Service, working with state and local responders, has suppressed over 50 fire starts. And the fire in the Hollywood Hills has been contained by brave firefighters risking their lives. Right now, 3 major fires are still burning in the Pacific Palisades, in Pasadena, and in Sylmar. I want to be clear. What I know from talking to the governor, that there are concerns out there that there's also been a water shortage. The fact is, the utilities understandably shut off power because they're worried the lines that they carried energy were going to be blown down and spark additional fires. But the Cal Fire, and when it did that, it cut off the ability to generate pumping the water. That's what caused the lack of water in these hydrants. And so Cal Fire is bringing in generators to get these pumps up and working.
All right, so that's Sleepy Joe. I can't. He wasn't a bad president. I heard the other day that he's claiming now he could have won. He did some kind of like interview that he like. I believe that's what happened. I don't know, but
fuck. I mean, it's like maybe, I don't know. Who gives a shit? He didn't. Like, who fucking cares?
You know how like a lot of Hispanics in this last election voted for Trump, like a surprising amount. And I heard people trying to blame like machismo culture, where like they wouldn't vote for like a woman, but it's like, doesn't Mexico have a woman president right now? So I'm pretty sure Mexicans would vote for a woman because they have one.
That might be more along the lines of like Mexicans in Mexico are chiller than Mexicans in America. I don't know. It's possible. Like, you know, it's not unsurprising to think that maybe Mexicans that acclimate to American life might adopt some of our worst impulses. It's totally possible, you know.
I don't know. Well, I'm going to do a quick bathroom run. I'll be right back, and then we'll talk about the Hulk Hogan incident.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. I'm super into it. Hi, everybody. How you doing? How you feeling? How your balls? How's your labes? Your various bits and pieces. I am in a good mood, but I'm a little sad. I'm a little sad tonight because I got a call from my other job, my motorcycle guide tour job, and they asked me to fly to London in the middle of February, and I can't go. I can't fucking go. I have a fucking doctor's appointment, and if you know anything about the American medical system, if you got a specialist doctor's appointment, you got to book them like 5 months in advance, you know? So I have to not go to London purely because otherwise I will have to wait until May to go and see a doctor, and that fucking sucks, dude. Ugh. Best country ever. How many butts have you eaten today? I've been really busy. I've eaten 0 butts. I'm not opposed to eating quite a lot of butt, though. So, yeah. You hear that Riley won the case in court. Are you talking about the Eric July stuff? Because I haven't really kept up on it, if I'm being honest. Would you give the doctor a free spot on the tour? If only. If only. Well, I'm glad Riley won. That's great. Yeah, fuck Eric July. Free my man Riley. He's not my man. I don't think I've ever actually literally talked to him ever. I think I talked to just Mint and Salad one episode of DP, and that's all I really know about. I'm familiar with them, but he's funny. He's a funny guy, and yeah, he shouldn't have to deal with that bullshit. It's fucking stupid. Next U.S. state, Greenland or Canada? You know what? If we take Greenland, I don't mind if then the Cascadia area just gets given to Canada. I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. Like I'll go be Canadian. It's interesting though because like so the I don't know, it wasn't like the Prime Minister, it was like some MP of Canada was talking about like, well, hey, California, Oregon, Washington, come be Canadian. You know, if we're making this whole thing, like, just come be Canadian. And so I was talking about it with my wife, and I was like, yeah, I'll be Canadian. I don't give a fuck. Who gives a shit at this point? Like, everything's bonkers. And she's like, yeah, but then we wouldn't get to have our guns anymore. Yeah. And I thought about it, for a really long time. And one, I don't think that's true, because you can't like wave a magic wand and just make guns disappear. But for another, like, I've always been a gun nut like all my life. I was raised, you know, from a very young age how to use firearms, hunting family, that sort of thing. And to be totally honest with you, if I could wave a magic wand and make all firearms disappear, I would. I totally would.
Did you know that you can't even? Did you know that pepper spray is federally illegal in Canada? You can't even have pepper spray. Yep.
It's fucking bananas.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, but I mean, like, but I don't think you could just get rid of all of the fucking guns in America, even if, you know, for some reason, like, Oregon was now part of Canada. I don't think you could just get rid of them. You can have your guns, just not legally. Now you're talking my language, though, because free men don't ask for permission.
So, let's take a look at what happened with Hulk Hogan. It's part of our antagonism segment.
Yeah.
Turn off the goddamn internet.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. DP, are they going to touch me?
All right. Here's something. It's funny. There's a channel called TYT Sports, but they don't cover sports very much like this. But it's weird. I think they started it originally to cover mostly sports, but they cover all sorts of shit. Wrestling.
The Young Turks, or
yes. It's Young Turks affiliated, but like Jenk isn't on it or anything like that.
Maybe the best thing you'll see today. As the WWE made its first appearance on streaming giant Netflix, they trotted out Hulk Hogan. This was the reception by the crowd. Massive boos, massive thumbs down. His dialogue was practically drowned out, according to many in attendance. And here's a snippet via Ray Carcillo.
He was name dropping so many favorites and was still getting booed.
Yeah.
Hogan couldn't be saved by the ghost of Macho Man or Andre the Giant.
Good.
It's crazy though, because WWE has a deal with Hogan. They bought in to a minority share of his beer company. So and this is the first time ever in the history of WWE that they're putting ads on the mat, like on the canvas of the ring.
Oh, interesting.
Because Vince didn't like that, so they never did it. But now they're doing it, and the beer is one of the ads, like one of the logos on the wrestling canvas. So Hogan's coming out like pushing this beer, which is probably like a Bud Light knockoff. They don't even sell it in my state. I think the closest place to me is like Idaho that they're selling it.
Sure.
And
they would track the fucking Idaho of all places and carry it.
So a lot of people are saying Hogan got booed because this is LA and he supports Trump. I did see a picture of him wearing a shirt that said the MAGA Powers because he was in a tag team called the Mega Powers with Randy Savage back in the day.
Yeah.
So he's the MAGA Powers now. So he's gone hard into it. But so people are saying, oh, it wasn't about politics because Undertaker came out and he did a podcast with Trump and they cheered for him. Now, I do want to say most people a lot of the people there probably don't even know that Undertaker even has a podcast, let alone saw the Trump thing. Hogan actually spoke at the RNC. So
he stuck his fucking foot in his mouth too the whole time he was doing it. Like it was fucking pathetic. The whole thing was really pathetic.
And we all know that Hogan, one of the main reasons he did that is because Peter Thiel funded his lawsuit against Gawker, because Peter Thiel wanted revenge against Gawker and found out Hulk Hogan had a good case against them, so he funded that.
Yep.
That's why he bought in.
Hogan is bought and paid for just like JD Vance is, just like all the rest of these fuckers are. Like, fuck Terry Bollea.
Bollea.
Whatever.
Tag team partner right now. I got Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer that I've teamed up. And in the past, I've had a whole bunch of partners down the line. I had incredible partners like, the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, so normally you'd get a pop just mentioning his name.
I've had giant-sized partners like Andre the Giant. But the greatest partner...
In short,
you know what they should do? They're not going to do it, but they should.
Launch him into space?
No, I mean like a good idea for them, for their well-being in this.
Right.
The next time he comes out, he should be Hollywood Hogan. And like just try to get them to boo him as much as possible. Like heel Hulk Hogan. And like lean into it. But that's
I would almost actually fucking have some respect for this piece of shit if he did that, but
that's what he did back in the day when his character got stale in the mid-90s.
I know.
And people stopped cheering for the hero Hulk Hogan because they realized he wasn't really a hero, because it was like after like all the steroid shit and all that. And he leaned into it. It was like, yeah, I'm greedy. I did it all for the money. I don't really care about kids or any of that shit, like being a hero or anything. I'm just here to, and that actually revived his career and gave him another like decade of success after that.
Weird, like really weird and really crazy. But I mean, fucking whatever, dude. If it works, it works. I legitimately really did like Hollywood Hogan. Like I thought he was great and
he was one of the biggest heels of the 90s. Like it was him in WCW and then Vince McMahon over in WWE. Though they were the two top heels of the 90s.
Replay yourself.
Hogan is heard on the tape, which was recorded in 2000.
Right, and they go over like all the scandals and the like the racist shit, and then I love this though. See, this is they did a reboot of Saturday Night's Main Event, which was like a huge thing when I was a kid because it was on like network prime time, which was rare for wrestling, and they'd have like good matchups and shit. And they rebooted it, but Hogan wasn't even it was like he didn't exist. They didn't even show any highlights from Hogan like wrestling on Saturday Night's Main Event in the 80s or anything like that. And and Jesse Ventura was there. So I'm guessing Jesse Ventura was like, if Hogan's involved at all, I'm not doing it. Is what I think.
You know, if fucking Hogan's gonna be anywhere near it, I won't be. You know.
Yeah.
You and Hulk were once good friends.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood of that ever being repaired?
Never. And he's the one that ratted me to Vince when I tried to unionize. I found that out under federal deposition when Vince was put under sworn, and he didn't hesitate at all. I told my lawyer the story, and in deposition you could ask about anything. And so I wanted to know who ratted me in the locker room, because there were no agents, no one from the office was in there when I did it. So it had...
He's one of the most honest politicians ever. He wasn't in politics for very long, but he's actually honest about how he feels about things. So
I fuck up Jesse. He's the best.
As soon as the Ukraine war started, he was like, because he was working for RT, you know?
Yeah.
As soon as that started, he was like, no, I'm not going to, because he got fired from MSNBC for being anti-war when they were really pushing like a war agenda, a pro-war agenda. Him and Donahue had the marquee shows on MSNBC in 2001. And when they were like really, like all the networks were pushing like weapons of mass destruction, go to war in Iraq. And
right.
He had this contract where they were like, you know, you can't, it was a non-compete contract where he got paid out and had to like not work anywhere until the contract was up. So, yeah.
To be one of the boys. And when my attorney said, Mr. McMahon, has there ever been a union in wrestling? And Vince said, no. He said, has anyone ever tried to? And Vince said, well, I think Jesse Ventura spouted his mouth off about it once before. And my attorney said, did you hear Mr. Ventura? No. Well, then how do you know he did? With no hesitation, Vince went, Hulk Hogan told me. And I didn't show any emotion, but I almost tipped over in the chair, because he was my friend.
If you are a blue-collar worker...
Look at this. This is an old video of Hogan clowning on Trump right here, which is funny because he's making fun of him being bald when he's bald, too. You know?
In this country, or you believe in workers' rights, Hulk Hogan is not your friend. He is
Look
your
what he's
enemy.
doing.
Per his former pal and fellow wrestler turned Minnesota governor.
I want to see Hogan try to do a comb over.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
Like
And hey,
Trump.
just a quick break in the...
All right. Yeah, this is the guy that runs the TYT Sports. But anyway, here's...
Interesting.
Do you know who Pat McAfee is?
Yes.
He clowns on Hogan in this, too. Because, you know, like, he has his podcast, but he also is, like, a WWE commentator.
Okay, I mean, that's not bad. It's just, I know what I know Pat
Here it
McAfee from is the he's the dipshit that constantly lets Aaron Rodgers come on and spout off like COVID conspiracy theories.
He had Vince McMahon on too. He used to be an NFL player. He was a kicker. Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
And I am getting a heads up that one of the stars of last night's show is actually doing a live press conference. Let's head over to that right now. I believe Hulk Hogan is doing a live press conference to address everything that happened last night.
Hello and welcome to this press conference that I've called the day after arguably the greatest day in my professional career. Last night, tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of millions of people watched the Hulkster bring the house down on WWE Raw to usher in the Netflix era in the Intuit Dome. It's the greatest night of my life. With that, I'd like to open it up to a couple questions.
That's good, press conference.
Hi, Mr. Hulkster. This is Peter Penz from the Mark Times.
Yeah, I can tell you look like a Mark, son.
Thank you. I appreciate that, I guess. Bullying was actually trending on X last night. I wasn't sure if you had any comments about the almost negative opening that you received when you were out on the stage, sir. Thank you.
Well, yeah, if you think those were boos, I can tell you're a fucking mark. Okay? I've been doing this a long time.
A mark is a carny term. A mizark.
Yeah.
And it just means like you're someone that believes wrestling is real. is basically what it is. And then there's smart marks, people who like know it's fake, but like want to believe it is. There's a lot of like weird terms that they use.
And you get used to the Hulk Hogan. Now, I will admit, I heard a couple.
Then there's money marks. That's another one I've heard. Like they pay to like hang out with wrestlers and shit.
Boo smattered across the crowd, and I'll be honest, I had no idea the people in L.A. hated Jimmy Hart the way they did.
Because Jimmy Hart was standing behind Hogan, like waving the flag, and people have joked around like that Hogan thought they were booing Jimmy Hart, not him. You know, Jimmy Hart's a nice old guy who's like 90 years old. He was his manager back in the day.
I
They
remember.
took one look at him with his stringy hair, stupid sunglasses, and the way he was half-assed waving that flag around, and I should have expected it. Those liberal marks out there can't stand a MAGA champion like the Hulkster. But again, they weren't booing the Hulkster. They were booing Jimmy Hart. Everybody loves the Hulkster, dude.
Dude.
Next question. What are we doing here?
Oh, Mr. Hulkster, Bill Markington, South African Times.
Who let this guy in? Get him out. Get him out. I want questions from real Americans, brother.
Hulkster, Bill Bazaranth, top turnbuckle. Do you
Good
think,
publication.
Do you think anyone booing last night has ever tried a real American beer, and after they try a real American beer would ever boo again?
Listen, I don't want someone trying a real American beer who's gonna boo. I just mentioned it. I'll mention it again. Those goddamn liberals out there, they can have their Bud Light. Those aren't real Americans. Those aren't my.
Yeah, I think he should like it. I think the political activism hurt his career even more than like the sex tape with the racism on it, which is kind of crazy.
It really does speak to America, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that helped him on the like with some people the racism.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real Americans, dude. The only Americans I want drinking real American beer are real Americans. The Bible Belt, the Midwest, anywhere where people don't bow down to Joe Biden. And they certainly do out there, brother.
Wow. Mr. Hulkster, Dexter Bennett from the...
It's crazy because when I was 9 years old, I saw Hulk Hogan wrestle live, and the cheers were like deafening, like how adored that dude was.
Yeah, I mean, like his fall from grace is legendary. It's really, really wild. And the thing is, too, it's not so. In the grand drama.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I have to clear something up really quick before I forget. Someone said, didn't Hulk Hogan call Booker T the N-word? No, Booker T called Hulk Hogan the N-word. Go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's
Booker T defended Hulk Hogan. Like, Booker T defended Hulk Hogan throughout the whole, like, sex tape racism thing. Anyway.
Yes, he did. Yep. So, God, what was I just about to fucking say?
Sorry.
No, in the grand drama of like professional wrestling and stuff, you can be a hero and you can fall down and become a heel and then back up, and it's part of the story, it's part of the narrative, and it's a lot of fun. That's not what happened with Hulk. Like, he just fucking sucks now. He's just a shit human being, and like as more things come out, the more people realize like that while we were all loving this incredible
he was
showman,
like he was like a real life superhero. We didn't have Marvel movies in the 80s and 90s, you know?
Right. Yeah. And like it was really important. I mean, like, he was a huge part of my life. I fucking loved Hulk Hogan. I was a Hulkamaniac.
I was into Macho Madness, so I didn't like Hogan when I was a kid. Like I was sick of Hogan because everybody liked him, and I always like a lot of times I will like go against the grain. You know what I mean?
So like
hipster. I was like 5 years old. I'm like, everyone likes Hulk Hogan. I'm sick of him. And then Macho Man Hulk Hogan lost the title to Andre the Giant, and then they had a tournament at WrestleMania 4, and Macho Man won the tournament. So I was like, sweet, you know, I like Macho Man anyway. And then he teamed up with Hogan, and they did this storyline where Hulk Hogan was creeping on Macho Man's woman, but for some reason Hulk Hogan was the good guy. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And if you go back and watch it now, it is weird because he was like getting too close to his buddy's woman, and Hulk Hogan should have been the bad guy in that storyline.
It's a different time.
And then they had their match at WrestleMania 5, and Hulk Hogan mopped the fucking floor with Macho Man, and I was pissed. And but that happened all the time. But until WrestleMania 6, when they gave it to Warrior instead. Warrior got to beat Hulk Hogan fair and square. Because before that, when Hulk Hogan would lose, it was usually because someone cheated or something. You know?
Sure.
And,
Sure.
Yeah. And by the way, Vince McMahon called John Cena the N-word on TV, which is a crazy one.
Did he?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
You guys can look it up.
So
I don't want
funny.
to play it because WWE is really weird with like footage, but look it up. Go watch it right now. I don't care. Vince McMahon calls John Cena the N-word, and then at the end of it, Booker T is standing there like, "Tell me he did not just say that."
No way, dude. That's so awesome.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wow. Damn.
He did.
Well,
and then
that was a choice.
Yep. Yes. So one more thing on this. I've got Jim Cornette talking about Hulk Hogan getting booed.
All right.
Jim Cornette hates Trump and like Trump supporters. Jim Cornette fucking despises them. So
pretty easy
and
to do.
then came the moment we've all been waiting for. The music played, and here came Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart. He is a real American. Americans hate him as only Americans. This was the greatest thing I've ever seen. You would think in Los Angeles, maybe it's not like it's not New York or Philadelphia. It's a crowd of Hollywood hipsters. They want to see the stars. It's a night of nostalgia and also moving forward. It's Hulk Hogan. He was the WWF in the 80s. They wouldn't give a cripple crab a crutch, much less give Hulk Hogan a fucking break here. They booed him out of the building as he was trying to do the promo where he put the WWE and the fans over.
Yeah. Yeah, normally like appealing to the fans and calling them awesome would get a cheer.
Sure.
Nothing.
And talk about how great the fans are and how great tag team partners they've been for. They were hooting him out.
Hooting him out.
I think, we were talking a little earlier about how, well, they really like Mick Foley as a human being, right? And they like The Rock as a star, but they kind of in the middle with Cena. They like him as a star, but he's also a nice human being, whereas The Rock is just on Mount Olympus. But this was an example of, we don't care whether you've been a star or not as a person. We hate the fuck out of you. Has he just lied and bullshitted? And I mean, we know about the video. That was 10 years ago.
I think that's a big part of it. I think the videos.
But
the video's a major part of it. Again, it's in Los Angeles.
But he's been back and not been, he's not been carried out of the building on their shoulders, but they haven't savaged him when he was there a couple years ago making an appearance. This was like, fuck you, we're sick the fuck of you.
No, they booed him from the second he came out. You felt bad for Jimmy Hart because he's out there waving the American flag as best he can, and they're just booing He mentioned Andre the Giant and Randy Savage. They booed. They booed everything.
They almost booed Andre's name, but they wouldn't even react to Randy Savage because Hogan is the one who said it. And there's poor Jimmy, the nicest guy in the building, is back there waving that flag, and he's 80.
Yeah, so I don't need to play this whole thing, but yeah, that's
Man, God.
Yeah.
It's so wild. It's so fucking wild. Oh, well.
Yeah. We got some other stuff too. Oh, by the way, please, if you guys out there would be so kind to start a tip train. A tip train. We need a tip train. Got to get to at least 25% during this stream. 25%. That's Hulk Hogan. Yeah, it's a good short-term goal. All right. Here's Trudeau responds to Trump telling him about annexing Canada.
Okay.
And joining us right now is Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Not for long.
Thank you so much for being here.
I'm glad to be. I never liked McMahon's good guys and liked the heels.
No.
I really hated the Ultimate Warrior the most. Mr. Perfect and Macho Man were so much more interesting and likable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Some heels I legitimately hated, but like I loved to hate them. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the give and take on it is, you know, you hate them, but you love to hate them. It feels good to hate them. Like they're doing their fucking job. So, yeah.
Really appreciate it. Before I get into the funeral and before I get into what's going on with you back in your home country, I do want to ask, you know, our country and the world really is watching these horrible fires in Los Angeles. Canada has a lot of experience with similar conflagrations. I know that you have been offering resources to the people of California and Los Angeles. What advice could you offer them?
Well, I think unfortunately, over the past years, we've seen it get far worse, and we've seen wildfires increasingly encroaching on urban areas. And that's an interface fire where we're having to train up more local municipal firefighters to deal with wildfires in a way that we never had before. I've been back and forth texting with Governor Newsom. We've offered a tremendous amount of equipment that they're already accepting. There's expertise. There's things that we're having to do to deal with together as we, of course, respond to these fires, but also know that climate change means they're going to get steadily worse, and we have to keep stepping up on fighting climate change, too.
But a lot of people out there might say, what does climate change have to do with this? Explain.
Well, when the summers get drier, when weather gets hotter, when...
I don't think that question gets asked much in Canada. I think... I don't think there's as much dispute over what's causing shit and whether or not climate change is real.
Weather patterns shift. Communities that were built in a place that never saw fires are suddenly seeing fires much more frequently. There's a shift in everything that means even what we see now is going to just get worse and worse and worse over the coming decades if we're not serious about reducing our emissions and looking for ways to protect our future generations.
So you are here in Washington, D.C., even though you just stepped down as your party's leader and you will soon leave as prime minister. But why was it important for you to come here to Washington today to go to President Jimmy Carter's funeral?
Well, President Carter was a dear friend of my father's. They overlapped in their times of service. And Jimmy had been down at my father's after my father's funeral 25 years ago. He was always an inspiration to me in terms of compassionate, selfless leadership. And it was important for me, and I think it was important for the friendship between our countries that the Prime Minister be there to represent.
President-elect Trump has been needling you a bit, calling you Governor Trudeau, talking about...
God damn. I can't believe... I never thought we'd have a president say this kind of stuff. You know?
You know what's so great? It's just so great about this whole situation is we can't do anything about it. There's nothing we can do.
No.
You and I, anybody out there watching... Literally, we get to just sit here and watch as this dementia-ridden, pants-shitting, dipshit rapist felon is going to go and embarrass us in front of the whole fucking world, alienate us from every single fucking ally, and act like a fucking lunatic. It's so great.
Yeah, it's like,
so awesome.
Why would we mess with like a very stable country that we share a huge border with?
Why
That's-
not?
That's
Why
like
not?
culturally more like us than any other country in the world.
We
You
have
know?
the EU, like the entire EU right now being like, if you try and do anything militarily against Greenland, you're declaring war on Europe. Like, like this is some serious shit. Like serious shit. It doesn't matter if he's just memeing, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Because, either he's a madman who's serious, or he's a toothless piece of shit who just says things and doesn't mean it, so nobody has to respect him. Like, it's fucking awful. There's nothing to be gained. There's no benefit to fucking any of this. It's so great. I fucking love it. It's so great.
Making
I'm
Canada
so
the
happy.
51st state. Did you have any interaction with him today?
No, not today. But that's not going to happen. Canadians are incredibly proud of being Canadian. One of the ways we define ourselves most easily is, well, we're not American. There is such a depth of pride that's not actually an issue. What I think is happening in this is President Trump, who's a very skillful negotiator, is getting people to be somewhat distracted by that conversation, to take away from the conversation around 25% tariffs on oil and gas and electricity and steel and aluminum and lumber and concrete and everything the American consumers buy from Canada is suddenly going to get a lot more expensive if he moves forward on these tariffs. And
I don't think people. I think a lot of people don't realize how much stuff comes from Canada.
Oh yeah, fuck ton, an
Yeah.
absolute fuck. Well, they're threatening to shut down the power grid to like millions and millions of Americans if he does the tariffs. They're like, if you fucking do it, we're gonna turn the power
got
off.
his issues.
All
But
right.
dang, Trudeau really is an attractive piece of man. Also, I
Yes.
hope we don't get drafted against Europe. Things are so dumb in this era of history.
I don't see a draft coming, but did you 8 years ago, Melania looking at him being like, damn, I could have had like a politician that looks like this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really fucked up there, Malala Bala. It's too bad.
something that I think we need to be focusing on a little bit more.
Did the re-election of Donald Trump and this more direct confrontation with Canada over this issue?
Oh, but back to the draft thing. By the way, I think our military is staffed well enough at this point. I don't see a draft happen. I mean, anything's possible, but I will say I'm too old to be drafted. I would be like last resort. They would have to have like an old man draft, which they did do during World War II. But back then, boots on the ground were more important back then than they are now. We can do a lot of damage from the air and the water that we weren't able to do that far back. So I just don't see anything like that happening.
I really just don't even understand what a war with Europe would even fucking look like.
We're not gonna have a war with Europe. That's ridiculous.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though, is like, well, war with who?
We'd be
where?
more likely
Like,
to have a war with Russia or China than we would with Europe. Like, we're not going to
Probably
attack
not.
France.
Probably
like, what?
not Russia. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but like that's the thing, though, is like if he's like, I'm gonna go take fucking Greenland, and he's just that dementia-ridden and shit, and he tries to put boots on the ground. I mean, I don't know what the fuck had happened. I have no clue. I doubt we'd ever go to war with Russia because that would be a very fast war. I don't know what war with China would look like. That's a fucking terrifying idea.
Yes.
I have no fucking clue. I have no.
I think our military capabilities are far beyond what pretty much all other countries have, and in every war scenario I've seen, because there are a lot of like war simulation YouTube channels out there where they like do like these, and in every one we just take out their oil supplies and refineries from like miles away at sea. and bomb the shit out of them, and then just like it to like end the actual war, there'd have to be an occupation too after that, which would be a fucking nightmare. But just the war itself would probably end. It wouldn't take that long, but
I guess, man, I don't know. I just honestly, I don't know. I
don't want to see it. I don't want to see it actually happen, because it would be terrible.
Fuck, dude, I don't know. Everything sucks. Maybe it should just suck worse.
No, I don't want to. No.
Play any role at all in your decision to resign as leader of your party and prime minister?
No, on the contrary. What we were able to do during the first...
and also that thing I was telling you about, like the trade routes, one going through Russia and the one going through Greenland, they showed on the map in that thing that I watched. Maybe I'll play it again just so you can see it. But they showed on that map how many Russian military bases there are now that are so close to both Alaska and like the northern parts of Canada. It's unbelievable. Sure. And they have like way more military bases than all of the NATO countries, more active Arctic military bases than all of the NATO ones combined. And they did show that NATO is doing joint exercises in the Arctic to kind of prepare for this kind of thing. So,
I'd believe it. Yeah, sure. I definitely believe it.
Yeah.
First presidency of Mr. Trump's was work together in a very challenging situation to come out with a very strong win-win in Canada-U.S. relations with the renegotiation of the USMCA. It is a great deal for both of us.
By the way, thank you for getting us to 22.22%. If you guys want to help out a little more, it would be much appreciated. Our executive or our associate producer, Jay Spoon, has had some unforeseen expenses. So I'm hoping that he's our main dono guy. So he's always dropping those 102s. So if you're out there and you enjoy the content, you want to help support it, please use the link pin there. Minimum dono is $2. Every little bit helps if you got it to spare. Thank you.
Our countries, we've seen trade grow, we've seen opportunities grow, we've seen wealth grow in both of our countries for workers, for businesses. Working together concretely is something that we've been able to do in the past, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work with him for the next 2 months while I'm still in office.
Let's talk about this potential 25% tariff from the United States on Canada. Economists say that will drive the Canadian economy into a recession, and the Canadian government is preparing retaliatory tariffs if these actually go through.
Oh my God! I'm going to cover the inauguration. I'm going to wake up early to see it, and then I want to hang out for like an hour or two afterwards to start seeing the news rolling in, because he's going to start doing shit like immediately, like the moment the inauguration's over.
Yep. No, he absolutely is. He's gonna go fucking ham, dude. It's gonna suck.
Here's a little bit. I'll show you this. So this was produced by CBC. So this is Canada's like nationally funded TV station, and this is their news division. But I wanted to show you. Maybe I'll just start from the beginning.
The Arctic is undergoing a transformation. It's driven by global warming and intense global competition.
Global tensions find a new stage in the warming Arctic.
Tonight, the U.S. closely monitoring growing military cooperation between Russia and China.
The Arctic is no longer a low-tension region.
You've got the incoming U.S. president calling the Arctic a top priority and promising to drill for oil and gas.
So there's the energy motive
Canada
of it.
is massively beefing up its military presence, investing $72 billion over the next couple of decades into Arctic defense. And Russia and China working together on what they call a polar Silk Road.
A polar Silk Road.
There are more people,
They map out the shipping routes, and it's a third of the distance as it would take to go through the Suez Canal through the Middle East. They have to go into the Mediterranean and then into
Right.
the Middle East and go through the Suez Canal and come out in the Indian Ocean and then get to Asia that way. But now they can go through the Arctic either north of Russia or north of Canada.
More interested eyes looking to the Arctic.
So why exactly is all of this happening now? Let's go through it. The Arctic is opening up. These thick blocks of ice are melting, clearing the way for ships to travel through. According to the Canadian government, by 2050, the Arctic Ocean will become an increasingly viable shipping route between Europe.
It's crazy that we look at it that way and not like, oh my God, what's going to happen with the sea levels rising?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And Asia during the summer.
It's like, oh, it'll make shipping to Asia quicker.
By the middle of this century, there will be no polar ice cap at the height of summer.
That's a big deal because right now, the fastest way to ship goods from Europe to Asia is through the Suez Canal in Egypt. But as we've seen more and more, the Suez Canal is not always the most reliable route.
A giant container ship ran.
Yeah, ships get stuck in it, and it's an unstable region
Aground
too.
in the Suez Canal after losing power.
Civilian shipping in the Red Sea has become more collateral damage to the war in Gaza.
So what if, instead of going down south and passing through the Middle East, you could go north and use the Arctic Ocean as a shortcut across the globe? There are essentially two ways you could do this. One is using what's known as the Northwest Passage. This would take you through the Arctic.
Yeah, see Greenland. You go right by Greenland, right there. So imagine if you're already there and you can just ship things north from there.
That's crazy.
On the North American side, weaving through Canada's northern archipelagos. The other route through the Arctic is known as the Northern Sea Route. This one passes through the Russian side of the Arctic Ocean, along the Siberian coastline. Both of these routes offer a much shorter path between Europe and Asia than the Suez Canal. It shaves off up to 5,000 kilometers. That's a third of the trip, or up to a full week of travel. And the warmer the ocean gets, the easier those routes become to navigate. Countries realize this potential, and so there is a battle for control.
Even non-Arctic states are looking to the Arctic and inserting themselves into the Arctic as much as they can.
It has potential shipping lanes. It has a tremendous endowment of natural.
Yeah, so I watched this whole thing. I'm like, holy shit. And they talk about like all the military stuff.
Up here on the top of the world, there is a vast expanse of ice and of emptiness. And yet Russia has made deploying its military up here to these extreme conditions a real priority.
Russia has, by far, the largest share of Arctic territory. Almost a quarter of its territory is north of the Arctic Circle, and it controls 24,000 kilometers of Arctic coastline. Over the past few years, it has been steadily building up its military presence in the area, investing in air bases, naval ports, icebreaker fleets, upgrading its submarines. Russia says this is to deter adversaries from even considering a potential attack, and to show that if an attack came, they would defend themselves at all costs.
Historically, Russia's northern coast there was protected by ice.
Has the West on edge because it knows.
Yeah, there used to be ice there, and now it's
Russia
like
is
it's
not
open.
Content simply to defend its holding.
I wonder why that. I wonder why that is. I wonder what happened. I wonder if there's like a monumental thing that happened, which is why there's no longer whatever. What do I fucking know?
See, there's 57 Russian
in
bases.
The Arctic, then Canada.
Yeah, and then there's like 32. Yeah, yep.
The U.S., Denmark, and Norway combined. And over the past year, it has ramped up weapons testing in the region too, including testing of hypersonic cruise missiles that Russia says fly at 9 times the speed.
Mach 9. They're going Mach 9. Missiles that travel Mach, that's like 7,000 miles per hour.
That seems bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no doctor or anything, but like that seems bad. That seems that doesn't seem good.
No.
Sound and have a range of over 1,000 kilometers.
The Arctic is the shortest distance between North America and Eurasia. And so if you are shooting missiles between those two continents, you're going to go over Arctic routes.
This Russian military base in the middle of the Arctic Ocean, for example, is actually closer to Canada's military base in Nunavut than Nunavut is to Ottawa or Toronto. And just look how close this
now they show how close one is to Alaska.
military air base is to
It's like right there.
Oh, yeah, that's really fucking close.
Yeah.
Alaska. According to NORAD, that's the organization that tracks and protects North American airspace, Russia has been testing bombers capable of carrying nuclear weapons from this peninsula, at times coming within just 50 nautical miles of Alaskan territory. Now,
that sounds bad.
Be clear.
And this is the Canadians reporting this. You know, this isn't Fox News or something.
There's no reason to believe that Russia plans to actually use these bombers to attack North America. But the fact that they're testing them that close to the U.S. has them and Canada thinking maybe they should beef up their military presence in that area too.
Americans are nervous because they just don't know where.
Intended to show Russia's.
I want you to see
military
this.
Exercise. Since the intent.
Where's the fucking thing?
More than 100 aircraft.
So this is like the joint NATO military exercises in the Arctic, like Swedish and other militaries there.
From the Chinese military is involved too. In July, the U.S. released this photo that they say shows.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Joint flights by Russian and Chinese bombers.
Russian and Chinese bombers like flying together in formation
near Alaska's coast. A few months later,
this is crazy. Watch how close this Russian jet comes to an American fighter jet.
China and Russia openly announced they were running joint
they'll show
and
it.
sea patrols in the area. This video, recorded from the
right here.
cockpit of a
Look at
U.S.
this.
F-16 flying near Alaska, shows a Russian fighter jet maneuvering within just a few.
Is that crazy?
Of the American plane in September.
We're seeing activities
That seems bad.
by foreign states that are approaching northern communities, and that's a real problem.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, I watched this and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I didn't even think about it, you know?
Yeah.
You don't normally think of the Arctic as like a battleground or anything like that.
No, not usually.
No.
Jesus Christ. Well, this sucks. This fucking blows, dude.
All right, so I guess we'll lighten the mood a little bit. We'll lighten the mood. This is the president of Mexico. I like how the way that they're responding to Trump saying that they're gonna like rename the Gulf of Mexico or whatever.
Yeah.
They reply the way he would reply to him. Like, so here it is. She holds this press conference.
Miércoles. Digo, obviamente, el Golfo de México es.
The Gulf of Mexico is recognized by the United Nations, but why don't we call it America Mexicana?
Reconocido el nombre por Naciones Unidas, un organismo de Naciones Unidas, pero el siguiente, ¿por qué no le llamamos América Mexicana? Se oye bonito, ¿no?
Yeah, so 1607, she like a bunch of the US it was like part of Mexico.
Yeah. Well, it was the Louisiana Purchase that we purchased like a fuck ton of it, wasn't it?
Part of it. Part of Louisiana Purchase was like New France and that kind of shit too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. When did we buy the chunks of Mexico? I can't really quite remember what that was.
Some of it was just annexed. There was like there was the Spanish-American War, and then there was a Mexican-American War.
Right. That's right. I forgot about that.
¿Verdad que sí? Desde 1607.
Not only is she American, but she's also Jewish. So they elected a Jewish woman as part of like a it's like a Catholic country. It's interesting.
Right.
La Constitución de Apatzingán era de América Mexicana. Entonces, vamos a llamarle América Mexicana. Se oye bonito, ¿no?
It sounds nice. She's just like, oh, well, why don't we rename America? We'll call it something different.
Y Golfo de México, pues, desde 1607 y además está reconocido internacionalmente. Créditos directos al derechohabiente, que el derechohabiente pudiera tener su crédito. Yo pienso que va a haber una buena relación. No veo por qué.
Yeah. She's being facetious for this entire thing. I wish it was. I wish it wasn't subtitles, but yeah. Did you hear about Zuckerberg? How he's removing fact checking?
Are we gonna watch that?
Yes.
Oh, buddy boy. All right.
It's funny how he's kissing the ring now.
Of course he's kissing the ring. Of course he is.
Right, breaking news just moments ago, Facebook announced it is getting rid of fact checkers and also making major changes to what content is allowed. This is just the latest move as Facebook's parent company Meta and founder Mark Zuckerberg work to very publicly win favor with Donald Trump.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First,
someone else wrote this for him.
We're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes.
Community notes, because the truth is democratically voted on, right?
Last I heard. Yeah, wait, what? Do you hate free speech, Benjamin? Do you hate free speech?
Freeze peach?
You hate
Similar
free
to
speech?
X, starting in the US. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
Fuck off.
Especially in the US, where I happen to live.
Especially in the US, which is legitimately where some of the worst problems are. Okay. I've had this argument before, and I hope people are going to start getting more and more willing to like hear me out on this, because I am a free speech guy. I like free speech. I think it's a good idea. I don't think a lot of people understand what free speech is, though, and a lot of times they're like, oh, cancel culture, blah. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. It's just another buzzword like woke, a DEI, or whatever. It's thing that I don't like, that's cancel culture, blah, 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 blah. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, the idea of free speech sounds good. In practice, it's not necessarily that good, because unfortunately, not everybody has the same access to the same amount of free speech. And when people who have a lot of power and the ability to say a lot of things very loudly, and people assume that they're going to tell the truth, their ability to tell lies means that the value of free speech lessens. Now, it's not that there's a problem with free speech. It's a problem that free speech absolutism causes free speech to lose value because it allows for too many lies. Sorry, that's just the fucking truth. And you can say that's a dumb take or shut up, but let me point out this. Robert F. Kennedy fucking Jr. exercised his free speech to go to the island of Samoa, where he spoke using his privilege and his power and his position as a politician and as a fucking Kennedy to speak to a bunch of expectant mothers. And he told them flat out, if you vaccinate your baby, it'll fucking die. And what happened is they didn't vaccinate their babies. Then the island nation of Samoa experienced a measles outbreak that was so bad that it killed over 83 fucking kids and left scores of them blind forever. Where didn't free speech have the ability to counter his bad speech with their good speech? It's the same thing as like, well, free market capitalism is going to fix all the fucking problems. It's a naive, stupid, fucking juvenile belief that you don't think that there should be more things to talk about when it comes to free speech. The concept of it is great, but we also should probably figure out some way that we also filter out and fight against bullshit. That's probably important. What's my solution? Here's the worst part, buddy. I don't know. But I think that we should start thinking about it, and we should stop just being like, me, free speech is great. Just fucking think about it. That's all I'm asking for. So, just saying. We need a ministry
Getting rid of
truth.
fact
Fuck
checkers.
that.
And Claire Duffy, you can see her right here, is here with us now. So what's going on here?
Yeah, John, this is a major reversal. Let's not forget that the reason that Facebook and Meta introduced this third-party fact-checking system in the first place was because it was accused of allowing foreign actors to spread disinformation and discord around American political elections. Now the company is saying it is getting rid of those third-party fact-checkers and will introduce this system called Community Notes, which is something that Elon Musk has also rolled out on X. It lets users add user-generated context labels to posts, but
It's funny because several months ago or like a year ago, he was talking trash to Elon Musk and challenging him to a fight, and now he's emulating the way he runs his platform.
Because Elon Musk is now running the most powerful country in the world. That's why.
Yeah.
Because the Zuck realizes he could be sent to the fucking gulag.
relying on users to do that and to bring in the information. This was announced on Fox and Friends by Joel Kaplan, who's one of the company's top Republicans just last week. We talked about he was elevated to the company's top policy job. Here's how he described the system.
And so somebody can write a note, and then the way it works is different people on the platform can sort of vote on that note. And if you get people who usually disagree,
it's like Reddit,
who all say, "Yeah, that sounds right," then that note.
Yeah, Reddit is like people who use Reddit like that are like terminally online think like something getting a bunch of upvotes means that it's true or that it's right or whatever. And
this is the world we deserve, where truth is decided by upvotes. Jesus fucking
and they're not even
Christ.
like I could make like 200 sock accounts and give my comment 200 upvotes with it. There's like nothing in place to keep that from happening. People
And
can
then
buy
you will have
upvotes.
You'll have more truthiness than other people's truthiness.
I see.
It's as simple as that. Yeah, absolutely. Tech bros have no guts. Just look at game developers. What are you talking about? You think game developers are tech bros? That's not what people talk about when they're saying tech bros. They're not talking about game developers. What are you fucking talking about? When people talk about the tech bros and the tech broarchy and all that kind of shit, we're talking about Elon Musk. We're talking about people that own these massively bloated fucking corporations. We're talking about like the owner of NVIDIA. Like we're talking about that kind of shit. Tech bros are fucking terrifying. They're worse than Trump. They're way worse than Trump.
Dude,
oh my God.
I live in the land of tech bros. There's so
I
many
know.
tech bros around here. A
They're
lot.
fucking terrifying. So Elon Musk is trying to start this star-based Texas thing, right? And like, let him out. It's fun to talk about. Shut the fuck up. Rat Lord sucks. He's annoying. Anyway, so Elon is talking about making the Starship Texas or star-based.
You know what's
Texas
funny about
shit.
Rat Lord? Like
What?
you'd think he was like some like ultra conservative like
I know he's a troll. I know. I've
he's
seen his
he's
videos.
Mexican too. He's fucking Mexican.
I know. Oh, he's a self-hating Mexican Nazi. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking kidding. Fucking kidding. Anyway, no, but I wanted to use this as a good excuse to talk about this because he's making this star-based Texas thing, which is basically a company fucking town. The thing that's fucking nuts about this, though, is that very specifically Peter Thiel and a bunch of the other tech bros, including Elon and including a bunch of other fucking people, they have this idea and they openly talk about it. And it's based off this weirdo far-right fucking Nazi dude about making these feudal company city-states. And they're dead serious about this shit. Dead serious, where they want to basically consolidate power into fiefdoms of tech broness. This is real shit.
Another thing about Rat Lord is that he's
bananas.
Rat Lord's a Mexican with a Hitler mustache.
I know. It's such a fucking fly. See? It's great. It's fucking great. I know. But
he's rocking the Hitler stash.
I mean, he makes it work, dude. He definitely makes it work.
Yeah.
Sie Heil, my friend. Yes, we got to talk about the final solution. So, yeah, fuck, man. No, but seriously, I think it's important that people pay attention to that because, like, I say that and it sounds fucking bananas, and it is fucking bananas, but it's also real. Like, it's like these people actually think about this. Watch some old interviews and like speeches given by Peter Thiel. Fucking nutty shit, dude.
Yeah. The whole Peter Thiel funding Hogan was something I didn't know about, and I saw like some guy made a video about it, and it just like blew my mind.
But on the post, and people see it. X has been doing it for a while. We think it's working really well, and we're going to adopt that system.
X is great. It's so great. It's totally still usable.
There's this dude who's obsessed with me. His name is like Brian Edward or something like that.
Is that the guy that talks to dead people? Oh, no.
No, not that guy. No, it's one of the dudes who ran Mythicist Milwaukee. He's a total fucking sellout piece of shit. Just this absolute numbskull dumb fuck. But like I left Twitter. I was like, I'm done with this fucking place. It fucking sucks. And every now and then I'll get a DM from somebody, and I go and I write them back and everything. And I just look at my notifications. Literally, the only notifications I have is Monday Matt going live, or that dude being like, "Ha ha, I knew you couldn't stay away." And like, I don't reply because my shit's locked down, and like, I'm not using it. But he's so desperate for me to come back, and he keeps trying to bait me. It's not gonna work, dude. Fuck Twitter. Fucking sucks.
Meta also was.
All right, yeah, enough of this. Let's check something else out. Oh, and by the way, I have to plug this because there's more people here now than there was when I said it at the beginning of the show. After this show, I'm doing the post show. We're bringing back the post show tonight. We'll see how it goes. You know, if we get a good turnout tonight, I'll do more of them. At least once a week is what I'm aiming for. So, yeah. And right now is a great time to sign up because you can get 15% off your first month if you sign up. It's linked down in the description there. If you click on it, it'll take you directly to the post.
Right. And our topic's going to be great. We're talking about my favorite thing, a dead Nazi.
Oh my God.
What?
So one of King Cobra's former friends from the titty sucking incident has passed away, and I don't want to go too deep into the details, but we will watch King Cobra's video about it. It's age restricted.
Spoiler alert. He got by the titties. They were poisoned.
The titty sucking incident.
The titties are poisoned.
Probably. She's like poison incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think so.
Yep. Listen, just everybody, like guys, gals, indeterminate genders, don't suck on strange titties. You don't know what you might be getting into.
Oh, God. I'm just thinking about that. Like, oh, it makes me
sucking on some titties like you wanted me. Peaches?
Was that the Genitortures?
No, that was Peaches.
Oh, it was Peaches. Yes. That was, it was.
Fuck the pain away. Yeah, fuck the pain away.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
Yeah, Genitortures are great though.
Yeah, I saw them live.
I'm really happy. Did you really?
Oh yeah. They used to play in Detroit all the time.
That's fucking cool, dude. Yeah, I never got a chance to see the Genitorches. I'm so happy you know who that is. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, she was kind of like, she inspired early like Manson and that kind of shit. She was kind of like, yeah, because she was part of the same scene as they were. They kind of like stole their whole original shtick from Jen and the Genitorchers. But I digress, Tubes. Yeah. All right, let's play this guy. Maybe I should. You know what I should do.
What should you do?
I'm just going to play this as the intro here.
I'm an incel, mindfulness shit. I'm a Christian, and I have evidence I'm a Buddhist, and I've carpet is all covered in jizz. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm an alpha, I live with my dad. You're a synth bro, and I'm just a Chad. I'm a black belt, you know what it is. And my carpet is all covered in jizz. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground.
He's bulking.
I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground, watching kids playing.
All right, here's the Jared. This video is entitled "Butter versus Seed Oil, which is better?" So this is a nutritional video from Jared.
Good. Great.
Here we go. And by the way, if you notice, his walls are bare now, and that's because he told everyone that it's because he's going to start taking his videos more seriously. But someone went and checked online, and it does appear that his house is up for sale.
Oh, shit. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? It's Jared Genesis here, and I hope y'all's new year is going to a great start. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys are getting those gains. I hope you're fucking working out heavy, but also the spiritual gains, because I'll tell you guys something. Excuse me.
The spiritual gains. Jared is a very pious man. He's practically a monk.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking that.
Jesus Christ is king, and Jesus Christ is an alpha male. Satan is not. Satan is a pussy.
He uses middle school level insults.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's incredible. There's just no fucking notes, man.
Satan is a pussy.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So just had to get that out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to share with you guys was some knowledge.
Knows when you're saying. We all know what Hannibal's saying, but not you.
Yeah, Hannibal does say, you know what I'm saying a lot. He doesn't say, you know what I am saying, though, like Jared does.
Right.
Yeah.
I know I sound like Ty Lopez. You guys remember that guy? Here in my garage. That was a long time ago. I noticed he's still on YouTube, though. That's fucking awesome. Subscribe to that guy. He's like a fucking multimillionaire. He really is.
Okay. Who is that?
Ty Lopez? You don't remember Ty Lopez?
No, I'm not sure who that is.
It's not important.
You want to be
fine.
Okay.
Around millionaires. Okay. To be a millionaire, you have to be around their swagger, bro. You know, you have to be around their energy. Whether it's they're watching a video or actually being around them, you want to stay connected to that energy because that's how the law of attraction works.
What?
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, law of attraction, huh?
Animal magnetism.
Yeah.
But with that said, that's not what this video is about. As I get things situated in a very unprofessional manner. Sorry, guys. I'm not getting paid for this, so fuck it. Y'all have to bear with me here. So, on to the debate that I wanted to talk about today. The debate that is seed oils versus butter. Mind you, not margarine. We're talking just butter here because margarine sucks. Margarine.
Oh, dude. Cobra will use like a whole tub of margarine.
Hell yeah.
It's a mixture of margarine and bacon fat.
I was about to say there's nothing wrong with margarine, but I mean that's not actually true. There is quite a bit wrong with margarine, but I like fucking who cares, dude? Like I get so pissed off on all the content and shit about like, well, don't eat this, don't eat that, and blah 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 blah, and like, yeah, I guess you can like really try super hard to like eat way better. Maybe don't eat like shit, but my fucking God, man, even if you just go from I just don't eat like shit to I eat all superfoods, you're gonna gain like maybe 4 years of your life, and they're gonna be the worst 4. So fucking who cares? Like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
Is like eating soap. I don't think it really has the real benefits that butter has. So you may be asking yourself, what team am I on? Team butter, team oil?
No, I would never ask that. I don't care. Who gives
Team
a fuck,
butter,
dude?
team oil. Come on.
Honestly, it's this, man. You know, everyone's different.
Well, there are some things I use like oil for, and there are some things I use butter for. I don't I don't have to be on a team. It just depends on what works better. Margarine basically is like whipped oil made to resemble butter.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, that's
there's no animal
too.
There's no animal fat in it.
Everyone has different needs. But if you were to give me like if I were to give you a generalization, I guess. I mean, yeah, I would say butter is a little bit better. But the thing is though, man, like omega-3, that's what's in butter, or at least grass-fed butter. That's good for you. But I mean, omega-6, that's good for you too. That's in oils. The thing is though, from what I understand, and here's the big kicker. If you guys know me, Mr. fucking clears his throat every 3 seconds. Forgive me on that, guys. Omega-6 can actually cause acid reflux. Inflammation, basically, which is the same thing. So, yeah, dude, I talked to my mom about this. I said, Mom, I'm 40 years old,
He's not yet, but he's getting closer. He will be 40 this year.
I had a nice Step Brothers talk with her. You know what I mean? The movie Step Brothers.
Oh.
No, but in all seriousness, we had a conversation about it. And she agreed that she's going to start buying butter. And I really think this will aid me a lot because I believe that inflammation has really hindered my progress in bodybuilding. I believe that inflammation has slowed me down a lot, especially like when I'm laying down on the bench, doing stuff like bench work. Oh yeah, I mean that can really suck. So I really do believe this will actually help me a lot, and that's why I wanted to share it with you. If you're someone who struggles with inflammation, and it's not just when you're lying down too, like when I do cardio, and I'm really getting into it. It starts to come up, homie.
When do you do any cardio? When? Like jacking off? Like, come on, man. Be serious. Be fucking serious. Jesus Christ.
Some of you guys, you know what I'm talking about if you got it, bro. It fucking sucks. I remember being on the treadmill at Gold's one day, and it was just like, it was just jumping out of my throat, homie. That's what she said. You guys know me. I had to get one of those in there. But
saying.
Yeah, bro, that shit was just broke. I used to like keep my fucking mouth closed. Seriously, dude, it was that bad.
He does bench work
because I mean that's what inflammation is. The shit wants to come up. You know what I mean?
What?
I know what you are saying.
So like he has acid reflux, but he should just be taking like Prilosec or something.
Not fun at all, bro. So yeah, I really believe this will make great changes, especially in the new year now. My switch to butter. But with that said, I'm just gonna say this, guys. I'm still gonna eat seed oil. A lot of people, they take it way too far. It's like the fucking, it's the fucking keto tards, bro. These fucking keto FAGs, bro. I'm sorry, but that's what they are. Carbs are bad. Ooh, carbs are scary. It's like, get over yourself, pussy. Eat a piece of bread, dude. Fuck off.
All right.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, this is just. Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's huh.
Yeah, I don't even know what more to say about this. Like, he's just eat bread, bro. I don't know. He's not a dietitian.
Right. I mean, like, he's just saying things, whether they actually make sense or not. Fuck, whatever. Butter's fine. Margarine is fine. Who gives a shit? Stop worrying about it. Like, if you are anything, you're probably not like me. Maybe some of you are. But you probably have had many adventures in your life. You probably have done a lot of really weird, crazy shit that has probably taken a lot of time off of your life. You're not going to get that back by suddenly worrying about your health all the time. Just try and be more active and try not to eat like shit. And then you're fine. That's all you have to do. That's it. It's not hard. It's really easy, actually. It's super easy. Yep. Oh, Ben's gone. Fuck. I didn't even realize that. Oh my God. Well, yep. That's all I got to say about that, I guess. Son of a bitch. God damn it, Ben. I am alone, and I am in danger. I am in danger. It's fine. I'm fine. Small, Jeff. I am small. Kind of small. Painfully average. Why is there something instead of nothing? Why not? Why not? It's just one of those fucking things. I don't know, man. I really think, like, when I was going on my rant about the whole like free speech thing, it really comes down to like a couple of things that I really keep hearkening back to. I'm not going back to old school edgy atheist days or anything like that, but I do think that a lot of people have lost the ability to have a wonder about the world and to start asking questions again about the world. And like, we just kind of take things for granted because we live, if you're in America at least, or really any Western country, but mostly America, we live in a world of such convenience that it is vastly easier in an extremely fast-paced environment like we live in to just simply kind of like, yeah, okay, and just go with it. Just fucking go with it, And it is kind of sad because I think we should have more wonder. We have the ability, we have the time to have wonder compared to how we used to. It really is kind of one of those things. And this is going to sound really conspiratorial, but I actually really do fucking believe this. If you want a hot take holiday, here's a hot take holiday for you. I believe that the people that are in charge like to keep us distracted for a lot of various different reasons. I think one of the main reasons why we have all these social issues that we're always constantly fighting about, the trans, the woke, the DEI versus, painting everybody who might be kind of scared of progress as being a Nazi or some shit. I think all of this is largely a distraction, obviously, to try and keep us from paying attention to the up and down struggle, class war, all that sort of thing. But more than that, that's an obvious. That's my anarchist take. You know that. You've heard me say that before. But more than that, I think that it is absolutely in the best interest of the people that sell us things and and push this production and consumerism for us to be so tired and so consumed and so without the capacity to really question or the time to really think about what we spend our time on and the things that we do, that we then are less creative. We are less interested in questioning things that otherwise maybe we should think about, maybe just a little bit. Big ideas, big questions. Is one of the reasons why I think AI is being pushed so fucking hard. Because AI fucking sucks. It's trash. It's garbage. It's absolutely garbage. AI is, and I do think this is part of the situation, because AI exists for the wealthy to access talent while keeping the talent from ever becoming wealthy. Simple as. It's the same damn thing. As long as you can keep people constantly overwhelmed with this kind of shit, you block them from other things. And so I think that we don't consider questions of what is the value of free speech? Are we allowing it to be abused and not being able to utilize it like we should? We don't think about that because we've been conditioned to just be obviously it's just fucking good. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? It's also one of the reasons why we don't question a lot of things about why do we let veterans starve to death or freeze to death every year? Well, if we did anything about it, that would be fucking communism. It's that kind of shit, man. So I'm just saying, I think it's all a big fucking thing that it's anti-thinking. It's anti-fucking thinking, and it's getting worse, and it sucks. I should debate Matt Jarbo about AI on here. He's super pro AI. Okay. I'm down with that.
So
I believe that.
Go ahead.
I believe that everybody has a capacity for brilliance. Maybe not the same type of brilliance. You could have some dude who just pumps fucking gas, and he might just have some kind of really cool spark of brilliance that otherwise we'll never know, and he'll never know because he never gets a chance to fucking check it out and try it out. I think everybody has a capacity for something really special about themselves. We don't live in a world that supports the ability to find that. So. We need more time, and the rent is too damn high.
The rent is too damn high. Why can't you afford to eat in a breakfast and a lunch and a dinner? Because the rent is too damn high.
Everyone isn't Forrest Gump. Maybe they are.
That rent is too damn high shit was from 20 years ago, too. The rent is even more too damn high now.
Rent is fucking insane. Absolutely fucking nuts. I think something like, I didn't even remember what the statistic is, but it's something. It's either 1 in 4 or even worse of all properties in the United States are owned by a company.
Yeah,
that's fucking insane. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, the rent is too damn.
I think we should keep people from being able to do that. I think we should actually they could do it, but they have to pay so much fucking money that it becomes bad for them to do it too much. That would be great. How do I feel about Elon having a Keck username on X? It's fine. It's totally fine.
I'm done with Jared. I'm done with this Jared video.
I think Elon should have to pay me royalties to be embracing Kekistan. Honestly, that's how I really feel about it.
Did you copyright it?
Trademark it? I really should have, though. I really fucking should have.
Yeah.
I might be able to. I wonder if I could actually make the argument in whatever court that is. Fuck, I forget. Fuck, I'm having a brain fart. Yeah, I don't know.
The People's Court?
Yes, Ben, the People's Court.
Judge Wapner? He was the judge on the People's Court when I was a kid. Judge Wapner.
The WAP was epic.
Yeah.
He was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in a few here, we will start the post show, and that should be something.
It will indeed be something.
Something. We're going to watch a Cobra video and it's him addressing the passing of homeboy Aaron, also known as Nazi Aaron.
Nazi Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, me, 100 Nazi scalps.
The post show is available on Patreon for all of our patrons, $10 and up. It's actually, there's a sale going on right now, though. You can get 15% off. All you have to do is follow the link at the top of the description. Just click on that, and you can sign up and cancel at any time, and you get a month's worth of content from the day you sign up.
Damn.
It helps support the show. So, yeah.
What saving?
Sign up.
Sign up.
Sign up.
Sign up.
Yeah.
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 Amazing.
Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was part of the titty sucking incident, and he was also he went to the graveyard with Cobra and Jessica. He did.
Yeah.
And played with a Ouija board.
That's awesome. I'm so glad. It's just cool.
That was quite the existence, you know?
Yeah.
What is that?
5150 stat. Can we get a lobotomy in a 5150 stat? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh, I got a peg.
Once upon a time. So this was old Jessica content here. Yeah.
Package from Japan. I think it has 2 things in it. The last 2 things I ordered should be a thing of oh my god, what is it? The green tea. What is it called? Matcha. Should be the green tea Kit Kats.
The Demogorgon.
And now you're gonna make me fucking have a goddamn. If everyone wants to fuck with my shit, I'm gonna fucking stop doing this shit. Why don't you fuck off? Why don't you fuck off? When you fucking have people constantly fucking up your channel, fuck you. Don't fucking tell anyone to calm me the fuck down, bitch. You tell me to calm down, you're gonna make
bitter
me
Ryby.
fucking worse, bitch. Don't fucking test my ass. People always got fucking excuses. Ugh. Fuck you. God. Christ.
Fuck you.
I hate my life. I never
We hate
asked
your life,
people
too.
are. Wake up.
Oh, this is behind Walmart?
Buttercup. You people are indoctrinated beyond the utmost cognitive dissonance.
Beyond the utmost cognitive dissonance.
I feel it. I feel like I am, yeah.
Motherfucking fools I have ever come across. Fucking ugliest. Fuck you.
Whew. What the fuck? What?
I'm not a scammer.
Oh.
Like, and I hate my whole life. I've had to prove myself to people, and nobody has ever taken me seriously.
Oh my god.
Accused of everything, you know? And just because I laugh at something I'm being accused of doesn't mean I did it. I've been accused of everything in my fucking life, and I fucking hate everybody.
Aww.
Like,
Yeah?
you would literally get all of your money back if you flew me out there. It's just minutes.
That's like a dolphin laugh or something, right?
It sure is.
Oh, this is while she was screaming at Josh.
Oh, should I start hitting myself all over again?
Because I won't solve anything.
So, please, why are you
This is what got him kicked out of his apartment.
doing this to me?
I'm not doing anything to you. I'm not doing.
He's trying to calm her down because she's screaming and it's like 3 a.m. and she's live streaming all of the embarrassing shit, of course.
A fucking thing to you, Jessica. You are overreacting.
I said you could do whatever you fucking want!
And I appreciate that. I don't know why you're getting mad. I really
Because you keep talking shit about me and making
I'm not
stuff
talking shit
up.
about you. I'm not talking shit about you.
I'm not yelling at you!
Right now.
I'm not yelling at you!
Jessica, calm down, please.
What did I fucking say? I don't care what you cook out of! Leave me alone! Stop judging me!
I'm not judging you.
I don't care what the fuck you cook out of!
I'm not judging you. Could you please stop shouting?
Nobody gives a shit about me. Nobody cares if I have cancer in the fucking hospital.
You don't, so why are you saying that?
People will promise to visit me and never do. Who cares? If I die in a hospital!
You're not in a hospital!
Alone! Who cares?
How could she scream about no one visiting her in the hospital when she's not in the hospital? What is this?
I don't know. Fucking weird, man.
Wow.
I didn't ask to be born!
Oh, yeah. When she, like, screams about her mom for making her born.
Right.
Yeah. I've heard her do that multiple times. How embarrassing.
I don't give a fuck if other people paid for it! I'm the one that fucking accepted it and fucking took my time to fucking fly out here.
She's, like, possessed.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh.
I'm a snake.
I'm a snake.
I'm a sweaty little snippy snake.
Narcissists, they can fucking sneak around the circumstances. You only get my trust once, so.
This is when she was mad because she caught him jerking off to, what is it, Chatterbait or whatever.
I'm not screaming,
Yeah.
leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here.
And I'm sitting here, so leave me alone. Thank you. Leave me alone. I'm not screaming, and I'm also not talking to you, so leave me alone. Thank you. Nobody's harassing you. Thank you. Nobody's talking to you. Nobody's talking to you, so please stop talking to me. Thank you. Quit talking to me and quit talking about me. Leave me alone. Thank you. I've been trying to go to sleep for the fucking past 2 to 3 hours. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. You can't talk to me, then don't fucking talk about me. So I don't want to hear it. Thank you. You don't know what screaming is. You haven't fucking heard screaming. You rather wait till I'm out of the room to do what you got to do. You wait till I'm out of the room to fucking talk shit about me. Okay.
Are you paranoid?
What's it to you, bundle of sticks? Oh, do you have something against paranoid people? Aw, because
You got something against the paranoid? Are you paranoidist? Are you paraphobic?
you would be one of those people that would make me paranoid and then fucking blame me for it. Oh, you're one of those? You're one of those sociopathic, psychotic abusers? Aw.
Aw. I hate when she does the aw.
Aw.
Aw, your narcissism won't be standed here. Thank you. Bye.
Standed?
Not me! It's a
Oh my God. Like, I go downtown and there's like crazy people screaming. Like, anytime I go into Seattle, like downtown Seattle, there's at least one crazy person screaming like that. So she's like that, only she has people taking care of her and let her live with them. But she still goes out and leaves her comfortable home and goes out into the street to scream at nothing.
For fun.
Yeah. Yes, I've been to Portland. Someone said on Burnside they see people doing that in Portland.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is that? What is that? What is that? What the fuck is going on? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on?
What is going on, Jessica? What is going on?
Hey! We're having sex! Can we fuck around here?
Yeah, don't
do that.
Worry about it.
I won't eat those. That's fucking disgusting. I won't touch
What
those.
the fuck are these? Flamin' hot
thank you.
lime.
I'll say thank you for that, though.
Cobra will eat the fuck out of those.
Yeah, he will. The fucking tongues. Yeah.
I'm washing
It was
my
flaming
face
hot
off. I'm not
lime.
wasting it.
Oh
I'm
God,
washing
here's
my
the.
face
I'm
off.
washing my face.
Oh God.
I'm almost done. I'm not wasting it. I don't peek in here. I'm naked. Come
You're
on.
not naked. You're streaming live. It's funny because like her parents are like, get out of the bathroom. You've been in there for like 10 hours. And she's live streaming and she tells them I'm naked. It's like you're not. You're clearly not naked. You have clothes on here.
Yeah.
I'm almost freaking done. I'm not wasting it. I don't peek in. Why are you being mean to me? I'm not even being mean. What?
She looks like a demon here. This like side profile, she looks like a fucking demon.
She really does.
I didn't even do anything. Okay, tell me to
Look at the eyes bulging out of her face.
You're telling me to hush. I didn't even do anything. I'm washing my face off.
Yeah,
The water hasn't been on that long. What are you doing? I haven't done anything to you. Why are you telling me to shut up? I didn't do anything. Why are you telling me to stop? I didn't fucking do anything. You're gonna call the police and have me locked up because I'm washing my face. Talking to you like what?
Talking to you like what?
Don't come back. What am I doing? I'm washing my face. What am I doing?
Oh my God.
What am I doing? You're fucking cussing at me. I'm almost done with my fucking shower. What have I done to you? I'm trying to wash my face. What have I done to you?
God.
I'm trying to wash my fucking face mask. I didn't fucking do anything to you. You just want to fucking hate me and then give me chance. What?
She's a, oh God, I don't even want to see this part because like she gets up. Later on, she does get like naked and she has the phone on the floor and she just steps over it, totally naked. And I'm sure this is edited because I got this from YouTube, but it's just like I don't even want to. I don't even want to go there.
She's watching her face.
Yeah, it is insane. Craziness, absolute insanity.
Just awesome. It's just awesome.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna do the post show in a minute here. So everyone, please like the stream, and we'll probably wrap this one up soon. And
Make sure to watch your face.
Because we got to watch Cobra. Cobra talks about the whole thing. The subject matter of Cobra's video is just like it got him an age restriction. So we got to do it. Yeah. So we're gonna do it in Patreon.
Find something out there that you are good at and you can be brilliant at. I believe in you.
Yeah. What he say? Yeah, I mean, Jessica is good at that, right? She found something she's good at.
Sure.
Being insufferable.
She's quite good at that, yeah. I'll give you that.
Everyone, follow the link that I just pinned. There's a new link pinned in the chat. Go there. Sign up as a free member. Even if you don't sign up as a paid member, because you can be a free member and follow us there. But yeah, sign up. There's $5 and $10. You can get 15% off if you sign up. And we're going to go do that now. So we'll see you all there. Here we go. Bye.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants.